here. Welcome to the stretch run. We have live racing from Kentucky Downs, Laurel, Monmouth, Woodbine, Gulfstream. So lots of live racing from all the parks except for Woodbine's not a park, but all these other ones, Kentucky Downs, I guess, is a Downs. But David, how are you doing? Welcome.
Good. Hello, Oldy. I'm doing well. It's been a while, but yeah, things are going pretty well. Wrapped the summer up, and we're making a trip to the spa last weekend, and had a little bit of modest success. So glad to be joining you guys on Saturday for the stretch run. We got a lot of good racing, especially over at Kentucky Downs, which I did for the first time last year. Did pretty well. So this year, I'm kind of treading lightly there, but I have a couple of opinions today. So some good racing for big purses, gigantic purses. I can't believe the numbers at Kentucky Downs.
Just absolutely ridiculous. I think there was an allowance race that paid if Kentucky Bred won was going to pay more than $1 million for the allowance.
Yeah.
So the great director says hi to you, and he thanks you for a $13 best bet on the last road to the NHC a couple weeks ago.
Oh, hey, great director. Thanks for joining. Thank you. I don't remember which horse that was, but yeah, that might have been in one of my notes or on the NHC show. Yeah. Well, thanks. And hello, everybody. Hello, Scott, Tony, Fly High. Hi, how's it going? So ready to get it rolling today.
Yeah. Wow, the 6 is getting hammered at Laurel. It's 1-2 right now for Gary Capilano. I thought the 4 had a shot here to potentially upset. I also thought the 5 Steeler Nation, the first-time starter Scotty Longshot there, might have a shot. It hit some really nice works for an upset. Any thoughts here? I mean, I'm telling you, a 12-1 horse might have a shot there.
Yeah, in a small field of maiden special weight state breds at Laurel, and in all honesty, Oldy, I usually don't get involved. But when you see a horse like the 6, never worked a day out of Irish War Cry, taking money like that, and a bullet workout last time for Gary Capilano, usually it's showing that this horse is a runner. So I would probably not bet against the 6 horse here.
All right, they are off. We'll get the sound down.
Decorum's going to the.
With that being said, he got off slow.
Country.
Yes.
On the inside, moving up to 3rd to prompt the early pace and getting through and slipping through the inside of Decorum. Steeler Nation is in 4th down the backstretch run. Never worked a day. I'll have to rally from out of it.
I feel like Steeler Nation should be a Pennsylvania bred.
Albert Finnegan left behind in
that
last
makes more
position,
sense,
heading
right?
into the turn. Thunder Cry up top from Summer in the Country. Another 3 back to Decorum. You have to get going. Has never worked a day. This odds-on favorite is 4th into the far turn run and double digits from the front. A miracle will have to happen here for never worked a day to win it. On the inside is Steeler Nation at the 5/16 pole. And it is Thunder Cry, that leader, as Decorum looms large there on the outside. At the top of the stretch, Summer in the Country is 3rd. Never worked a day, is trying to get into gear, but just an even pace. In 4th at the 3/16, Decorum. Decorum opens up under a drive, allied by 5 from Summer in the Country, Thunder Cry, and never worked a day. A 16th left to go. And Decorum going on to the maiden score under Angel Cruz. They'll widen at the finish on Summer in the Country. And 3rd, never worked a day, got 3rd.
Scotty pick.
Yep, they're going in the gate. But any thoughts on this race? I thought the 1 Ira Stark might have a shot here.
Wow. Spanish Eyes.
Yeah, I like the the 11 here a bit. The note that I had on him after handicapping this morning, this is Scotty Longshot. And he, the outside post may be an issue, but he's won at 1 mile and 3/16 before, and there's 1 mile and 5/16. And I know Goliad should have the lead. The 11 could be stalking here. So the 11 is the horse I had interest in here, Oldy.
Racing. Stellify from one of the middle gates is away very sharply. Way to be Marie is close handy towards the inside, and Beach Bomb's going fast. And Nomo Candy's right down the outside. Arya Stark tucks in right on the back of the pace, fourth along the fence. With 1 mile and 1/8 to go, Stellify goes to the lead for Florent Giroux. Nomo Candy crossing to sit second. Beach Bomb 2 lengths back third. Another 2 lengths, Arya Stark and Spanish Eyes. Grand Mireya 3 wide, 6 lengths off the speed. In front of Boss Lady Bailey and Way to be Marie. Duvet Day is a long way back in the field. Likewise, Miwa and Nadette brings up the rear. At the 7/8 pole, and Stellify is a 2-length leader over Nomo Candy from Beach Bomb and Arya Stark. Grand Mireya 5th in front of Spanish Eyes as they top the hill, 6 furlongs to go. Miwa next, Way to be Marie back towards the inside, followed further astern by Duvet Day, and at the rear is Nadette. Approaching the 5/8 pole on the descent into the far turn, the leader Stellify. Stellify from Nomo Candy, Beach Bomb and Arya Stark the fence. 2 lengths off Grand Mireya, who covers Miwa. That pair 5 or 6 from the lead. Spanish Eyes in the middle of the pack. And then Way to be Marie. Boss Lady Bailey in the lime colours is back towards the rear in advance of Duvet Day. And back last, Nadette, the field covered by 12 lengths when they pass the 3/8 pole. Stellify still in charge of proceedings. It's Stellify leading into the stretch from Nomo Candy, followed by Arya Stark, who's waiting for the light to change. Next is Beach Bomb, followed wider out by Miwa. Duvet Day making some headway between horses. Spanish Eyes well back with Way to be Marie at the 8th pole, and it's Stellify clinging to the lead. Miwa trying to get on terms with Stellify. This pair looking to become a repeat winner at the meet. Stellify's going on strongly with the job, safely holding Miwa. Way to be Marie finishing on, but Stellify's going to win it easily. Stellify all the way from Way to be Marie. Miwa third, fourth's either Duvet Day or Nadette coming from the tail.
Stellify went off, it looks like, as the favorite, so somebody knew there for sure.
5-2 for Brad Cox and Mr. Giroux. Got the lead, and the 11 stalked and tired, and it was a pretty easy victory. And Did the 2 get up for second?
I think so.
Yeah,
yes.
The 2 I thought, I would have used. I could kind of make the case for the 2 to hit the board, but I haven't. I've been watching a little Kentucky Downs, during the limited meet. Haven't seen many wire-to-wire winners. So that was the Scotty second pick, Stellify. Wire, basically gate to wire here.
Yeah, you still have to be pretty close to the pace though there.
Yeah.
So at Gulfstream, we have that coming up. We're 2 minutes away from post, which probably means more like 5
Correct.
in Gulfstream time.
Absolutely.
So we got a little bit to talk here about Gulfstream race 6 as well. We'll let the race sim run here. We got a boom in the chat on the EquinEdge chat, so I'm guessing that Scotty there, but I'm not positive. That could have been Justin accidentally on the account, but hopefully that's Scotty tuning
Justin,
in here.
Hey, Justin, boom at KD. Thanks. Okay, you're welcome, Justin. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, glad to fill in for you. Hope everything is going well. Hope it cooled off a little bit out there on the West Coast in Washington. I heard you had temperatures in the mid to upper 90s last week.
So at Gulfstream, I kind of had a little bit of interest in this 4, Floribunda, with Marcus and his Manessas aboard. the horse has done better running on turf than he has on synthetic, but may profile to get an easy lead here.
Yeah, he's got she's got the highest pace metric with a 67. But, I looked at this race briefly. I have a couple of opinions. I think the horse that I'd be really interested in here is the 9, Good, Better, Best. This horse has won 3 races on a synthetic, pretty versatile. She has, won 4 turf races, 3 synthetics. So the surface doesn't really, matter to her. She can run on either. I mean, she's been running in a similar class. If I'm looking at the SOR, her last was 60. She's got a 60 again today. And she can either be on the lead or stalking. They have her here with the 3rd highest pace metric. I like that outside post. I'll give an honorable mention here to a horse that's been a bugaboo of mine who I actually, one of the NHCs I had run second at a huge price is Invitational Princess. Now, second start for Kathleen O'Connell was previously, I'm trying to think who the trainer was. She's been changed hands over the last 2 years a number of times, but on her best day, she can fire a shot. I mean, at 18-1, I wouldn't leave her out. She's won only 1 race on the synthetic, but she, with Kathleen O'Connell, second start, you never know. And had an excuse last time out with a troubled start. It squeezed at the start. So I'd be on the 9 here solidly, and I would use the 2 Invitational Princess somewhere to hit the board.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the 2 favorites, the 7 and the 3, are money burners too.
Yeah, and my strategy in a lot of these races is to avoid favorites, and she can obviously win this race, and she likes the synthetic, but she has been favored so many times.
Yeah.
And you're right, you're right on target here. She actually is the last 1, 2, 3 starts she's been favored, and then back early in late in the year, November and December. She was odds on a number of times, and she failed 3 out of 4 times as odds on. So who wants a horse like that? And on March 21st of this year, she got beat by Good, Better, Best. And I'll take any day at 4-1 over 8-5. So that's who I'm on the 9 here. But yeah, and also the Mama Bell, the 3, obviously eligible to win a race, but in a race to me that looked very competitive, I'm not taking a horse who's 1 for 10.
And I don't mind the long shot here, deflection, the 10 here. I think that horse has a shot. Is nearly got home at this level last time out, first time on synthetic. This is the first time going at 8.5. I think that this horse could have a shot, maybe belongs on synthetic.
Yeah, that one synthetic race, the last synthetic race was good at 20, almost 22-1, right? So, and on August 30th, this horse had a nice work, second out of 27 that hit the track that day. And so this is a really wide open race. So I would advise, looking for a price. So I'm on a 9 here, but I'm going to use the 10 would be on the 2.
Lining up.
And you're right, the 10's got a shot. I'd be looking just to avoid the 7 horse or the 3.
Angelo?
And I probably
has a 1-2 punch in here as he has the second choice in number 3. Mama Bella. From the outside is Deflection, who will complete the line. It's a field of 9 at a mile and a 16. They're at the post.
And they're off. Tape Runner off a step slow. Deflection, Good, Better, Best, and Rachel's Song across the course early. Floribunda makes it a party. These four in line. Away in fifth is Latte Lizzie. Down at the inside goes Ipanema Princess to race a length in front of Oxer. Second last is Mama Bella, and way back early is the slow-starting Tape Runner. Around the first turn they go. Good, Better, Best, and Jose Morelos drop over to the rail and lead by a length and a quarter. Zayas has Deflection racing in second from a headstrong Rachel's Song on the outside third. At the rail, Floribunda is now fourth. Latte Lizzie working way out the center. Ipanema Princess guided off the inside by Panici. She's 3 lengths behind. Then Mama Bella, who's racing together with Oxer, and Tape Runner is last. The opening quarter pretty aggressive, 23-3 as they head 4.5 furlongs from the wire. The leader is Good, Better, Best. In front for Morelos, 3 parts of a length. In the middle, Deflection outside Rachel's Song, 47 flat for a strong half mile. Fourth and Ask to Quicken, Floribunda. Then Ipanema Princess and Latte Lizzie. Oxer's at the rail. Mama Bella held up for a run about 8 lengths off the lead, and still at the back is Tape Runner. They speed around the far turn, and Good, Better, Best trying to run them off their feet. Opens up a 2-length lead now. Deflection is second and hard ridden. From the back, Mama Bella finding her best stride. Red Cap into fourth. They run to by 3/4 and 1:10-1, and they're on their way home. They have to reach Good, Better, Best, who's off the turn in front by 2. From the far outside, Mama Bella, the one with the fresh legs. In between horses, Deflection. Right there, Rachel's Song. They converge on the leader, but Good, Better, Best is still the leader. Mama Bella on the outside, grinding home. Good, Better, Best. Mama Bella on the outside. Mama Bella surging at Good, Better, Best. Mama Bella getting up. Mama Bella in front.
And a good race.
Good, Better, Best was second.
Great
Deflection third.
traction.
Rachel's Song fourth. Then Oxer 140.
Track. The 9 ran her eyeballs out. Got beat late.
Ran her eyeballs out.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. We have 6 minutes to Colonial here. I know you said you had some Colonial opinions.
Yeah, so let me pull up my Colonial. Let me just get on there. How many minutes we have there, Oldy?
We got 6 minutes, 5 minutes
plenty
now.
of time. I don't have to panic here to rush. Okay. Let me just pull up my notes. In the race simulator, we've got the numbers are saying that Doncho is the top pace metric at 97. But, you know, the 6, Mr. M, is not slow. And based on some of those trips that horse has had in the past, I could see a contested pace here. Absolutely. And I mean, and if one goes out, I mean, obviously a big threat to wire this field, but I think the way that I'm leaning, I don't see any current odds here. Let me just refresh. That would be, I mean, you're going to have these 3 horses, the 2, 9, and 6. All right, here we go. So Doncho is 5-2. Oligon, who I definitely have interest in, the third top Scotty pick, and 33% win percentage. It looks tough from off the pace. I mean, if you look, this horse came out of Saratoga, ran into Jaipur, which is a grade 1 now. Was that a real grade 1 race? To me, the Jaipur was more like a grade 2. But with that being said, that was a 10-horse field, and Oligon did not embarrass himself in running third there. And I think that was a relatively slow pace that day on a good turf course. And, you know, then they went into a grade 2, the Troy, and I mean, was really a non-factor in running an even 4th. But I mean, when you look at the numbers, you know, you have a horse shipping down from Saratoga. The Jaipur was a 74 SOR. The Troy was a 70. So we've got a 70 here, and Paco picks up the mount. So I you know, again, I'm not a big favorite type of player, but I think we can have a pace based on the pace scenario here, the projected pace scenario with the 4 and the 6 battling for the lead. I think the 9's a pretty solid play here, and not really giving you any much because it's 9-5. But I just think with that outside post too, just stalking and just make it a perfect trip here.
So I see your potential pace scenario, but what I see here as well, David, is the 6 has a real habit of breaking slow. Maybe he won't today, didn't last time out, but you know, you have to go back to July of 2024 for another quick break from this horse. So maybe Doncho potentially gets an easier lead than we think, because this horse will try to sit if it doesn't break well.
Right.
And
yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out, because when I was looking at this race this morning, I'm thinking to myself, hold on a second. This horse went wire in his last start, and pretty fast fractions. And Joe Sharp's barn is on fire. He had a really solid Saratoga meet. But I'm looking, does this horse really want the lead? He seems like a mid-pack stalker, but then he's always losing ground. And if you look at his other victories, he was right on early in 2024 at Fairgrounds. He was right on the pace. So it looks like this horse needs the lead to win. And that's a very good point. I don't think you might be right. This horse may not get the lead with Doncho in here. And so I don't know if this horse, he can be a pace factor and maybe press the 4. And that's a scenario that I see, that he gets off well enough here, presses the 4, and sets up the 9 for Paco with a perfect trip. But you're right. I mean, I don't see him. He looks like he's stalking. I don't know if he's getting off slow, but he's pressing the pace. But he's, like I said, he's losing ground, and his best races are when he's got a lone lead, right? So I don't know what to think of him.
So let's look at one other horse that's been running well is the 5 Witty here. We have a question actually from the great director here. If possible, could either of you go over a race and share factors that make you want to bet?
Well, I'll take that first, Oldy. Great director. It depends on the race itself. If I'm looking for, I'm looking for races that I know where my ROI is better. So normally those are dirt races, 2-turn races, allowance dirt races, turf allowance, or competitive claiming races in New York where I know the horses very well. And I think I might have an advantage where a horse is getting lost on the board. I'm looking for value. I like to bet a horse off of a bad race or two who's got back form and may be overlooked, who, his form might be a little muddled because people are looking at the last couple of races. So, and again, there's a lot of factors involved, but for me, it's always value and quality. Very rarely do I bet a maiden special weight race with a lot of first-time starters. I like to see a lot of past performances on EquinEdge. The more past performances, the more back form I can find where a horse might get lost on the board. So I'm always looking for value. So if I don't see value in a race, like for instance, this race, I probably wouldn't bet. I do like Olegon, but there's really not much value here. So it may be just an entertainment play for me. So value is the key, and it's I know what I'll avoid 5.5 furlong sprints or 5 furlong sprints because my ROI isn't good on them unless they are stakes quality races or high allowance races where I have more confidence in some of these horses.
Yeah, and what I'll say, I wouldn't rule a 5 or 5.5 out for me. It's more so I'm not really, outside of when we do the show, a win bet player. Right. I'm more of a pick 4, pick 5 player. And what I'm looking for is at least 1, maybe 2 legs in the sequence that I have a strong opinion in. The strong opinion could be that the favorite sucks.
Right.
It may not be that I like something. I might just know that the favorite sucks. And I'm going to throw that horse out completely, and I'm going to let the system figure out the the other horses I could use there or should use there. In other cases, it might be I want to single this horse. I love this horse, and I think I can use that horse and wring value out of that sequence.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah, we're on different wavelengths. I'm more of a win, double, and exacta player again, and then pick 4, pick 5. Very rarely do I play pick 4s or pick 5s. And great director, the value comes from, normally when you have an overlay, you have an underlay in the race. So a horse that's taking too much money or way too much money, in say an allowance,
the Daha Stakes.
It's going to be somebody
Nacho from the inside shows his speed. Goes right.
Are you guys able to hear this? Okay.
Alagon away second, third is Oceanic. Fourth, and those light cutters is fourth at about 4.5 off the top. So like to have more back to Incinerator.
Pouring at Colonial, by the way.
Nearly going as Nacho speeds toward the far turn. The lead's just about a length. Cut into that margin is Mr. in the second spot. Alagon perched down 3 deep as they run into that turn. It's 2.5 more lengths then. Back to Oceanic, who's still fourth. Incinerator fifth, and Witty trails. 22.13 seconds was the opening quarter for Dacho. The lead 3 quarters now. Alagon tugs up closer in that second position. Length more to Mr. Oceanic trying to get in striking range. Now 4 more back to Incinerator, and Witty going to once again cut the corner. Still has to make up 6 or 7 as they come into the lane. Dacho tries to get away. It's Dacho a length and a half to Alagon. Final 3/16 of a mile to go. Dacho's a length and a half to the good. Alagon in second. Mr. third. Oceanic, Incinerator. Witty still has 5 lengths to find. Dacho trying to seat out for another 16. Alagon on the outside trying to press by. Dacho still there. Alagon surging as they come to the wire. Dacho, I believe, held on.
Yeah. I think it was Dacho by about a nose there.
Right. And it's so logical. Dacho got the lead, was pressed by Mr. M, and Alagon just missed. So I didn't. Full disclosure, I didn't play the race, and 8-5 was not enough value for me. But if I was playing a double or a pick 3, I probably would have singled the 9. So I saved a little cash there. But to me, that looked like the logical horse.
All right. We have race 8 at Laurel or race 7 at Monmouth. Race 7's on the turf at Monmouth. We're on the dirt at Laurel. Do you have a preference here, David?
Let me just see. Well, race 8 at Laurel is a stake, so I would definitely want to do the stakes. And we've got a Linda Rice shipper here, who looks like a contender. St. Benedict's Prep, who is actually 5-1. Let me just pull up. We got a few minutes here. Let me just take another look at this race. So we've got a 100K stakes, the Twix stakes. Twix.
Yes.
Isn't Twix a candy bar?
It is, yes.
I'm more of a Twizzler fan than a Twix fan. But with that being said, this might be maybe I'll look for a sweet bet here. That's my best effort at my dad joke. Sorry about that, guys.
Well, sometimes, you're in a race and there are 2 Linda Rice horses in there. And, maybe it's the other Linda Rice horse here. Right.
Tipple, who was the longer shot on the board. Just bear with me here. I got to find my Laurel. Oh, there we go. At least race 8. I did make some notes here. So the Twixt is a 1 mile race, and we've got Wild About Hillary as so. Just so you know, the listeners, how I approach races that I take a quick look at. I want to know. I look at the pace metric first, and to see if somebody's got if there's a lone speed, and that's another value thing, great director. That if I see a lone speed who's kind of overlooked, I'll look closer at that horse because speed is so dangerous. I mean, speed, you have such an advantage being on the lead in most of these races, especially large fields. Yeah, you get the lead and you don't have to worry about any traffic problems. You just have to worry about going too fast sometimes. Yeah. So Wild About Hillary, I'm looking at. I'm not really. So this horse does lose ground late a lot, but does cut back to a mile. Has been in stakes races. Knowing that we've got a Butchie Reed horse in here, who's full disclosure is one of my favorite trainers. I've done very well with Butchie Reed shipping up into Naira tracks from the Mid-Atlantic. And this horse to me is very interesting here. Butchie Reed wouldn't ship up wouldn't ship around the country if he doesn't think he's got a shot. And this horse is 2 for 3 at the distance. Although never raced at Laurel's, a Parks type of horse, has been up at Delaware, at Aqueduct a number of times, and off the layoff, he had a long layoff from September 24 to April, and had maybe not the same mare here, but knowing how crafty he is, I'd be willing to take a shot with Morning Matcha here at 10-1. And again, was favored last time out on a muddy track that going 7 and really didn't, only finish a length behind. So it's not that bad as it looks with a 4th place finish. And maybe wasn't enough of a pace for her to close into, but stretches out to a mile here. This horse may get a really good trip sitting at 3 posts. So, yeah, I'd be interested a little bit in Morning Matcha.
All right. So on the weekend preview show, I was 8-4-9. I should point out that that one of those losses the 8 had, I believe, was to our friend Torpedo Anna.
Oh, hold on a second.
That's the 25 length loss there in the Apple Blossom. After winning the Bacoa.
Right at 22-1. Yeah.
Yeah. But, so I think wild about Hillary may have a little bit of an advantage over the coming from Oaklawn, might have a little bit of an advantage over the Linda Rice's in here. But I like Tipple better. I also thought Foxy Jr. coming out of Parks, who has multiple wins here at Laurel, including a win at the distance in a stakes race, was a horse that was going to get ignored a little bit. It was 20-1 on the morning line, 9-2 on the morning line. It's currently at 7-1. But again, they're going to have to go fast enough for some of these horses to be a factor. Like Ragtime Bell, if you want to take Ragtime Bell at 3-1, be my guest. But this is an example to me of where you have a bad favorite that you should be able to take advantage of.
Yeah, and also I'm looking. This is a very wide open race, Oldy. I can make a case for 6 or 7 horses here that aren't the favorite. Central Avenue intrigues me a little bit. Second start off the layoff. Cutting back from mile 16th at Colonial, and didn't miss by much to Tipple, and maybe the mile is right up this horse's alley. So had raced at Saratoga in 2024, going 2 turns, and really didn't embarrass herself. Yeah, this is a really, really interesting little stakes race here at Laurel. But you're going to get 11-1 on Butchie Reed. I'm taking it every time.
Linda could have brought Lascano in here or one of her other jockeys who, since there's no New York running this weekend.
Until Thursday,
yeah.
Good point. But after a really world-class Saratoga meet with the best jockeys in the world being there, I mean, I think a lot of these guys would want to have a break. But except the Ortiz brothers, obviously, they just keep rolling and rolling.
Foxy Jr.
All right, good luck, everybody. If you have action here, this is a competitive race, and there's plenty of value on board.
Stakes going a mile. St. Benedict's Prep and Wild About Hillary with early speed, and on the inside is Low Country Magic moving forward as part of the early lick too. Foxy Jr. far outside settles in, and Central Avenue improving on the inside within 3 of the lead. Runaway Divas next in between horses. Tipple on the inside is 6 or 7 from the early pace. Morning Matcha. Ragtime Bell is last of them all. Ragtime Bell last and last, some 20 lengths off that pace. Wild About Hillary 3/4 of a length from Low Country Magic in second. St. Benedict's Prep, Central Avenue sharing third. Runaway Divas in between horses there in fourth at 4.5 furlongs left to go. And it's Foxy Jr. with about 6 to make up at this point, and Tipple racing on the inside. Ragtime Bell and Morning Matcha 24 and 1 the opening quarter half in 48 seconds, so they're midway on the turn. Wild About Hillary 3/8 from the second wire finish from St. Benedict's Prep, and Foxy Jr. working up methodically on the outside from third. Central Avenue cutting the corner from home, and back to Low Country Magic. Runaway Divas in between horses now racing deep out about 4 path, and Morning Matches trying to find some stride down to the inside, and 1.5 furlongs left to go. And here's Foxy
He's loaded.
Jr. Foxy
Come on with that
Jr.
three. Get up for
5.
second.
Three-way scrambles on for second. Central Avenue, then to the outside. Runaway Diva in between horses. Morning
We're
Matches
gonna get
trying to
squeezed
gain that
between
third
horses
spot.
here.
St. Benedict's Prep is also right there, but
Wow.
it's Foxy Jr., a clear winner in the Twix Stakes.
Well,
Great money all went
Second,
on the
Runaway
9
Diva
there.
there.
Yes,
Central
yes. Good call, Wiz. You got the 9 Foxy Jr. in a race that looked very competitive on paper, and Foxy Jr., who was the morning line at 20-1, EE morning line at 9-2, which tells you something. If congrats to people who picked that up, subscribers. I missed that. And 5-2 more. Yeah, they knew, right? But again, this horse is she's a winning machine. She's 10 for 23 lifetime. But, again, moving from the turf and 2 for 2 at Laurel, and didn't anticipate such an easy win, but good performance there by Foxy.
All right, we are on to Kentucky Downs.
Okay, Kentucky Downs. We must have race number 7, and this is, I have to tell you, these races at Kentucky Downs. Even last year, I was in a couple of those tournaments, the turf challenge or whatever they call it these days, winning that turf belt, and I did well in the one of the feeders into that.
Yeah.
But this meet is just so tough. I mean, this race, if I look at this race, I spent almost an hour looking at this race, and I'm going to save a little. What do we have? 3 minutes. So I'm not going to get into it that deeply, but there are so many horses here that I thought had a chance to win. Goliad should have the lead from the rail. And the notes that I have here is that this horse, first of all, this horse has got the blue ribbon, right? It's the top win percentage, and top pace metric is 61% of the time in the money. Draws the rail, and we saw in the last race a horse go wire to wire. Spirit of St. Louis is going to be tough here. I always like Brilliant Birdie. I thought Laganos, the 13, has a shot. It is going to be really tough. But I'm going to play. This horse I never played before, and I always had a knock on him. But I am, I'm settling on. I think Kentucky Downs is so interesting, and I can't play favorites there. So I'm not going to play unless I'm getting 10 or 12-1. I don't want anybody. And the horse that I think is overlooked right now is, and again, full disclosure, I never liked this horse. At Gulfstream this winter, I played against this horse every time this horse ran, and the horse is Todd Pledger's horse, Major Dude. I just think by looking at this race, if you look at the United Nations, he got the lead and tired at 13-1. Maybe he's not really a grade 2 horse, even though this is a grade 3. In the poker, that's not a bad race. Stalk the pace, chased, and Donegal Momentum came back last week and really impressed with a great ride by Ortiz. If you look at this horse's races, it had some troubled starts, just seems to, not get the perfect trip sometimes. Only 1 for 10 at the distance. But I think this horse is sneaky. I look at the workout on August 30th, a nice breeze, 47-4 at Saratoga on the turf course. I'm sorry, not the turf course. That was the main track. I think this horse is sneaky, real sneaky at 15-1. And this may be, I'm not an across the board type of guy, but he's got 1 start at Kentucky Downs and didn't hit the board. But I think drawing that inside, make it a perfect trip and angle out. So I'm on the 2 here, Major Dude. And if I was going to use other horses, it would be with Brilliant Birdie and Goliath, who I think is going to be on the lead for a long time.
All right. So I like the 3 Cairo here. Nearly won the Arlington Million. Was right there. Its best effort at Ascot is better than this group, even though it didn't win the race. I think Goliath and Air Recruit will go fast enough here to set up for that horse. You're getting 9-1 here. I just think that horse coming from Europe, and the European shippers have been doing very well so far at Kentucky Downs. I think that's a horse that you're seeing value on right now.
Right, and I see. Good point. I see, Rob, you're rolling with Frankie, who's actually 6 wins at this meet. 6 out of 19 as of yesterday, right? 32%. So, and this horse just, ships in from Europe. No starts in this country. You got to show me.
Goliath begins smartly near the inside, as one would have anticipated. Epic Ride going fast out wide. Cairo between this pair. Beach Gold's out very deep, and Major Dude towards the inside. Air Recruit and Point Linus both between horses at the top of the hill with 6 furlongs to go. St. Anthony is next, followed well back by Spirit of St. Louis. And in the white colours, Steel Sunshine from Brilliant Birdie, who's next to last, and Swift Delivery trails when they race down the hill and sweep by the 5/8 pole into the far turn. Epic Ride is the pace setter from Beach Gold, followed on the inside by Goliath, who had never been headed in 2 previous starts at Kentucky Downs, but takes the sit this afternoon, 3rd on the back of the leader. Then comes Point Linus, who's up nice and handy in his US debut. A bit wider out, then comes St. Anthony, and also in that group is Lainos, followed then by Cairo, who's won off the fence in a bunched field. Spirit of St. Louis getting fanned very wide past the 3/8 pole. Major Dudes over along the inside. Steel Sunshine, Swift Delivery a long way back as heads are turned for home. And on the outside, it's Beach Gold, who's now beginning to struggle. Still the lead belongs to Epic Ride from Beach Gold. Goliath, Lainos on the outside. The lead belongs to Epic Ride. He is showing them a clean pair of heels. Epic Ride with a 16th to go. A couple of lengths from Lainos and Beach Gold. It's Epic Ride, leading most of the way to win the FanDuel TV McMillions over Lainos.
Well, not even close on that one for me. As Epic Ride brings it home there. On the lead. Hadn't shown that on turf in the past, or the ability to get home on turf. But sometimes this Kentucky Downs course does play more like a dirt course.
Right, and the track announcer, did reference that once Goliath didn't get the lead for the first time in his career, right? Epic Ride got the lead, and it looked like, in my opinion, it was first quarter was 22. That was going to be a pace meltdown, but this horse just lasted, and pretty impressive at 14-1. And there's your value. It's a race that you really had to look for value. And Major Dude didn't run so badly. He has the rail and just flattened out a typical typical major dude race. Decent
Was,
race, but not
yes.
good enough, right?
Exactly. So we have Gulfstream coming up here, and the late pick 5. I'll put a quick ticket together. But if you have thoughts on this race, I thought this race was wide open. This first race.
Yeah. So we're all synthetic today, correct? In this pick 5. Or do we
Yes.
have dirt? Yeah, yeah.
We do have dirt. We have one dirt race.
One dirt. So when I looked at the card this morning, you know my mindset, Oldy, and what was my first reaction when I saw we were off the turf. I was, I'm going to say I was discouraged or disappointed. Because I was looking for a little turf action at Gulfstream or main track, and I'm not the biggest Tapeta fan there, but looking at this race, again, you are absolutely correct, my friend. This is really a wide open race, and I really didn't know what direction to go. We're going, and again, besides Tapeta, this is 5 furlongs, and I've seen so many wire jobs on these 5 furlong turf courses Tapeta courses that, I mean, it's hard to go against Sappy's horse, the 8 May Mischief. I know it's wide open. I'll have issues. I think it's another horse I would use, and usually in a race like this, and then I'll use a speed or 2 speeds and a closer just in case the pace gets has a meltdown. And I guess that would be Hertax or Smile Pro. So if I was playing pick 5 or pick 4, pick 3, I'd use the 2 speeds, the 5, 8, and then one closer, the 5, 7, 8. Those are the horses that I would use.
I'm going to take a shot here. That's the race that I wanted to take a shot on. But with Lenaloo surprisingly staying here, I don't really think the 7s. I really think it's just the 3 and the 7 here. I did not like the 8's horse. So that's about as narrow as I want to go anywhere. So that would be 63. I'd probably double this up to 126 and take 2 in the last, the cheapie in the last. I just don't know if I would take the Sano horse.
So, Oldie, just a quick question. In the 8th race, the stakes on the dirt, did you say you were single in the 7, Love Like Lucy?
No, I'm between those two. I was thinking about it. I really was because I don't think Lenaloo's really a dirt horse, but and you're talking me into it back to the reason why too. Also, Being Cone is awful off the layoff. He's over for the last 23.
Right, not
Off
known for layoff. Right, or first time starters. And to me, the Lenaloo is a turf horse. She's a turf. Yeah. 7 based on the debut race over the track. The 7 to me, if I was playing a pick, I'd probably single the 7, Love Like Lucy.
All right, so I'm gonna go, and this will be the ticket here for me. Alfredo says, "Good luck, everybody."
Hey, Alfredo, thanks. Good to have you join.
But the Lenaloo, they had the opportunity to run her tomorrow in the juvenile races at Kentucky Downs and scratched her out of there.
That's interesting. For a lot more money, right?
Right, which tells me that the horse probably isn't ready. And just needs a race.
This positioning here, maybe just to give her a race, right?
Yeah.
Right.
All right, let's put the multiplayer up. Here they're nearing the synthetic gate. I almost called it a synthetic boundary.
Boundary.
But it's a real boundary on a synthetic track.
Correct. Oldy, who do you like in the 10th at Gulfstream? Do you like the 7?
10th at Gulfstream.
The horses, they're at the gate. It's now post time. Lining up and moving in for race number 7. The late pick 5 gets underway right here.
I did like the 7 there.
Yeah, I like the sloppy. I noticed that this morning. May not have cared for the sloppy track. Gets back to a fast track today. And I thought 3-1. If you get 3-1, that's a good value in that race.
Exactly what I said about the horse on the weekend preview show.
I have issues going forward. Goldmark silks worn by Edgar Zayas on Lady Backtalk, the next one. The last two up are Smile Poe and May Mischief.
On the wet track at the distance.
Smile Poe going up. May Mischief and Ray Lou to the outside gate. 1 and 8, the betting leaders currently. They're all in line. And they're off. Good start. From between horses, thankfully, quick off the blocks and tries to clear the inside traffic. In the middle, here's Lady Backtalk, and I have issues to take her on. On the far outside, Smile Poe, shuffled back Greenfield Cougar. So in between horses, it's Blonde Jack and May Mischief as last of all as they move into the far turn. Thankfully has the rail in the lead over I Have Issues in second. Lady Backtalk a 3 wide third. Fourth at the rail, Greenfield Cougar. On from fifth, green colors of Smile Poe racing in front of Blonde Jack, and May Mischief has played no role in this. Lady Backtalk with a bold blitz, 3 wide to take on the advantage, and at the inside, thankfully, tries to go with her. From the inside, it's Greenfield Cougar angling for a run. Smile Poe, they're off the turn. They're in the stretch drive. Lady Backtalk up to take the advantage, trying to fight on is thankfully at the rail. Greenfield Cougar, they come past the 16th pole. Fighting hard, thankfully, Greenfield Cougar at the rail. Thankfully, Greenfield Cougar. Greenfield Cougar up the rail. Greenfield Cougar for the money. Greenfield Cougar beat Thankfully, who was game in defeat. Lady Backtalk third, 56.
All right, we have coming up here Monmouth race 8. We have a allowance optional claimer here. So no stakes races today at Monmouth.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a light card, yes, to say the least.
Yes. They wouldn't want to take advantage of something like Naira not running in their area.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. No Naira. You can have a lot of New York horses shipped down from Saratoga, or the ones that are stable at Aqueduct or Belmont can ship down easily. But it is what it is. And this race, I did take a brief look at Oldy, and in all honesty, I had no opinion here. I just had no clue in which direction to go. So it is a race that would probably just get somebody else's opinion on.
Yeah, so I thought there was a lot of pace here. And I'm not sure any of these pace horses can race. Maybe the 6 can a little bit, but the 7, 8, and 6, I kind of want to toss all 3 of them.
The 3 speeds.
Yeah. And, the 3 seems to be doing it. It seems cheap and seems to be doing better running on grass. So that kind of leaves me with the 4, 1, and 9. 4 is getting back.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 has a Monmouth effort against 48s and in a similar field that was close. And to me, that horse could be competitive here at a price. And, I think maybe the 6 is competitive too, but I kind of like the 1 here, Muldoon.
Muldoon going turf to dirt today, correct?
Yep, and adding 21 points in GSR.
That is a non-win is a 1. It's only 1 for 16 lifetime. This is a sloppy track right now, which
Mhm.
has changed. I think it was fast earlier in the day. Had a decent second on a sloppy track back in June at this level at almost 4-1. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that horse to be closing. And sometimes, I guess because there were thunderstorms predicted, when you have standing water, which you may have, it can be very favorable for closers when you have a lot of standing water on these tracks. So yeah, no, I could see that. I can see the one. What odds are we getting here? 7-1. That's value.
Yeah, let me bring Monmouth up here. We'll take a look as well. There's definitely standing water.
Yeah.
Here, as you take a look there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like they probably just got hit with a thunderstorm recently.
Yeah.
Which was predicted in the New York area. Yeah.
Sloppy, I would assume they sealed it, even though it's not listed in the track condition.
You would assume.
And at the same time, we have the last, but it's a cheapo at Laurel in a turf sprint. So I figured we'd skip that one.
Okay. Let's see. Let me see if there's any of my. If it's a cheapie at Laurel, it's probably not one of my. Oh yeah, maiden claiming 16.
Yeah.
I was going to say you might have somebody I know there who I've bet before, but the answer is no. There's no prior victims of mine at that in that race.
What about our friends at Colonial in the Old Dominion Oaks?
Old Dominion Oaks. Okay. How many minutes to post we have there?
We got 4 there.
4 minutes. Okay. Yes, I did have notes on that because I did take a long look at that race. And again, go back to who's got the, what's the pace scenario here? And you've got kind of a murky early pace scenario with only a 57 for Mischief in Motion and a 53. So there's not a lot of pace here. But that being said, they're pretty tight on the pace range from a 50 to a 57. And Watershed's a heavy favorite here now at 4-5. Evershed, I mean, yeah. And I just think this may be a little more wide open. This is Scotty top pick and top win percentage. So obviously a horse that you probably would want to use. But I just thought there are 2 horses here. And of course, now the one horse that I had some interest in is Scratch. So we'll scratch him out. We'll then Jonathan Thomas's horse, who I thought had a shot. So the other horse I'm looking at, I'm like, why can't Mischief in Motion be on the lead for an awful long time here? So that was the other horse I have, and with the favorite. And I think the 2 horse, I have a note here that As Catch Can, does look rather interesting here as a long shot. I thought had a shot to run well. And let me just see.
And David, before you spend too much time, apparently they're in a rain delay.
Okay.
A weather delay, and all their feed says right now is we're currently in a weather delay. Please stay tuned for updates. So I would not be surprised if this race doesn't get run at all.
Right. It wouldn't surprise me the rest of the card gets canceled then. They've done that before. Yes.
And I would also say, so Rob had the great director had another question. But why wasn't it the Scotty pick? So each of those learning metrics and algorithms are separate and they don't know about each other, because if you had a problem with one, if you had one that was wrong, it would pollute all the other ones. So it's just the way a separate metric or algorithm works, that's a separate formula. Didn't like that horse based on the data. or wasn't that the
Right.
top pick of that metric. Is the way I would describe it. And
Right,
we're
'cause
about to go.
it's not
Go ahead,
unusual
sorry.
to see the top win percentage not that it's not unusual, it rarely happens. The top win percentage not be one of the top 3 picks. I've seen that before in races that I have notes on. And
Yeah, there was a race at Woodbine today where the top Scotty pick was the 3rd highest win percentage.
right. Mhm.
All right,
Okay,
going
so
in the gate at Monmouth.
I'm going to go with you here, Oldie, and put a little bob on the 1. Where I think on a sloppy track, I like to play favorites on off track. I'm sorry, I like to play long shots on off tracks because you usually you don't know how these horses are going to handle it. And she had a decent race at a second place finish on off track. So I'm on board with you, Oldie. The 1.
2 back. Cassie's Vault.
Mildoon. Good luck, everybody. If you got any action on the Monmouth 8th race.
To the outside post. Let her run.
We're
We're ready to go. And we're off. From post 7, Carrots Forever gets the first call. Cassie's Vault out with her. Let her run right behind them in the 3rd position. Yes, My Lady Lino in 4th. With Captured Darling, then Kate's Love usually towards the front of the field. Today she's off the pace. Didn't break all that alertly, though, and she's running 4 or 5 lengths behind. Gap of 4 to Mildoon, who's at the back as they approach the half-mile pole. 2 runners battle on the lead. Carrots Forever, neck in front. Cassie's Vault right there to the outside. 2 back to Kate's Love, making an early move. Sails into 3rd with Let Her Run rounding the far turn. Yes, My Lady Lino's 4 from the top, all shaken up. Another 2 to Capture Darling has lost position here, and Mildoon still trailing as they round the far turn. Here comes Kate's Love with a sustained move from the half-mile pole. All the way up to challenge the leaders, coming to the top of the lane, becomes the leader here as Carrots Forever struggles. Cassie's Vault claims second, but she's still behind Kate's Love, who goes for the finish. Kate's Love, the leader, opens up about 2 lengths with a furlong to go. Capture Darling.
The 1's absolutely flying on the outside.
Mildoon is coming like a rocket down the outside. And Mildoon from last to first going to give Jorge Vargas Jr. a triple.
Boom! You need one of those explosions. There you go. 12 to 1.
Tell you what, she ran off.
All right, now we get to use the new sound effect here.
There you go.
There we go. I'm excited. All right, here we go. So there's a boom, 12 to 1. First boom of the day. We'll give it a little explosion, and we'll give it a little Black Hawk horn here.
Thank you, Oldie. Like I said, you get standing water on a track. Don't be afraid to play closers. You got the when I saw 22 and change over that Monmouth track, and that on that level, 15,000 claimers, 9-1-1. I'm like, Jesus, it has the one. I know the one's far back, but she should be flying.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
love it.
Won pretty easily.
Yes. No, thanks, Oldie. I got a little dinner money for tonight.
Once in a while, David. Once in a while.
Yeah, right.
Woodbine coming up. We have the late pick 5 there, which of course is not, in my mind, the deepest of fields. So let me pull up what I'm coming up with here.
Okay.
20 cent. I'm just going to go $60 here. I do think you're probably using too many, or it's probably using too many in race 3 or leg 3. Though your favorite is your lowest win percentage, your morning line favorite. But, I may actually take a chance here. And based on the pace, it is a sprint. Let's see what the race sim thinks here and see if the race sim doesn't think it's going to be as easy of a lead. but it does have the 4 winning there. I'd probably put the 4 and the 3 there. If you look at the class level of these other horses, they're nowhere near this 3.
Right. And it should be a scenario where the 4 and the 8 battle for the lead. I mean, the 8 is a 42%. It has a 42% win factor there, percentage, and it's the top Scotty pick. But she's going to face pace pressure from Josie Carroll's horse, the 4 Blanco. And Ocean Atlantique, that's a familiar face to me. Raced many times at 2 of my tracks that I attend a lot, Aqueduct and Gulfstream especially, and was in Kentucky Downs. Just looking at the SOR for this horse, 62, 60, has raced in 68 companies, 66, now 58 today, just on class alone. But again, is Ocean Atlantique. The problem is this horse is maybe it lost a step off a layoff, second off a layoff now, maybe better tuned up. Had a really good workout on August 30th, but just on the class alone, you can't leave this horse out. I don't think Ocean Atlantique. It's going to be tough, and I just think that the 8 is going to face the pace pressure from the 4. So I might be looking for another alternative as a long shot closer, because I mean Ocean Atlantique's not reliable at times. Probably run a good race and hit the board, but I might throw a crazy horse in like Uncaptured Moment to hit the board and run a good race here. But to me, it looks like the class of race is Ocean Atlantique.
And as well, I've locked this. Let me unlock it, and we'll get this down to 60 here. So throw out the 4% over 8 horse and the 1% first time starter. There on this, so the 2 and the 5, and you're at $60 there. On a 20-cent ticket. So let's see how close they are here. They're going in the gate, so we timed that perfectly.
Perfect timing.
On me Monday. The outside gate, a very short price at 3-2. Stand by for the start as Blast in the Snow will be the last to move up. Right here for Fraser Abley, a winner earlier today on Saratoga Holiday. Out the saddle, the rider of Chairman Bob.
Fraser.
2 for Michael Bellissimo in the field. The other is Chairman Bob. So it is Blast in the Snow coming up. Goes to gate number 7. A little restless fun fella there in the gate. All in.
Good luck, everybody.
Eddie, and they settle. Reaction from Fun Fella. Almost ready with Blast in the Snow. And now they are all in and locked up. Off their race, and a very good start for Uncaptured Moment. Got out the best from Blast in the Snow, and going forward deep on the track, it's a Stormy Monday, and the grey Blanco right through in the center to hit the front. Blanco at the wire the first time, the leader. Behind the top 4, about away is Ocean Atlantique from See My Meister. On the inside, Chairman Bob. At last is Fun Fella. Out the stretch, and Blanco in front, flanked on the outside. It's a Stormy Monday. They both flash a bit wide. In third placing came Blast in the Snow with Uncaptured Moment. A length and a half away, Ocean Atlantique. Chairman Bob going up on the inside, followed by See My Meister. And last is Fun Fella. About 5 or 6 lengths covers the field, and Blanco in front. Out of the lead, under restraint by 3/4. It's a Stormy Monday. They go on by a length and a half to Blast in the Snow with the neck stretched out. And the top 2 picking up the tempo now as it's a Stormy Mondays pushing Blanco. They've gone in front and maybe more. About 5 to Blast in the Snow. And then Uncaptured Moment, Ocean Atlantique. Behind them, Chairman Bob. See My Meister second last, and Fun Fella. It's a 2-horse battle. They've really turned it on. And these 2 are now engaged in a real commitment to see who's going to break first. And it's a Stormy Monday getting to the lead. Blanco under pressure. And now going for home. It's a Stormy Monday. And they're 5 in front of Blast in the Snow. Ocean Atlantique is next. The others are well behind. Top of the stretch, it's a Stormy Monday. continues to lead by about 2 lengths to Blanco. Running on is Ocean Atlantique, and Ocean Atlantique is really burning home down the outside and is gathering this leader in with every stride and is going to get up here. Ocean Atlantique on the outside's right to the front, and Ocean Atlantique has come right away with a brilliant win.
2 is going to
Scores by
run a
about 2 or 3
decent
quarters
third.
of a length.
So, yeah.
Second home, it's a stormy Monday
that
from
works out well
Uncaptured
for me.
Moment. See my
And
Meister
the
in
pace
Center
scenario
Chairman
just
Bob.
developed
The race
exactly
time
like
1:36.48.
I envisioned it. And we have a surprise guest in that middle screen there. Hello, Mr. McKeever. How are you, my friend?
What is up, David Harrison? How are you? How are you, Oldy?
I'm doing good, Scotty. Doing good.
Nice pick on that last race. That was pretty amazing. 12-1 you got on that one horse, and that horse came flying from the clouds. David picked that up.
Mm-hmm. And if you saw, the GSR said that horse was going to love the slop too.
Yeah.
It went up 23 points on the GSR because it had been on the turf previously.
And Oldy, the horse also had a second on a sloppy track over the surface in the same class level. And to get 12-1, and again, sloppy off tracks are different. If you got a muddy track, maybe you get a little difficult to close at Monmouth. But when you get standing water, and you run 22 and change at first quarter in that level, the closers are gonna.
That didn't hurt.
Right.
That's where the pace number really comes in handy as well.
Yeah.
You know, but hey everybody, it's good to be here with you guys. I just thought I would just jump in for a few minutes. Saw you guys on there, and I'm like, well, why are they having all the fun? So I had a few minutes, and I thought I would come in, jump in. I didn't handicap nothing. I don't know if I have anything to offer, but don't let me interrupt anything. I know you got Del Mar. I know we can't. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to get approval from them on race replays and live streaming, but hopefully for fall we can get that.
That'd be great. Just
we had talked also about some of the things that are coming up on EquinEdge, and so I think maybe we'll wait maybe 10-15 minutes or something, and then we've got a big promotion coming up here for the Keeneland Fall Meet, and so I thought maybe I would bring that up and talk about that. But let's go ahead and you guys go ahead and handicap Del Mar. If I see something along the way, I'll offer up an opinion.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Scotty, you know that I love nothing more than a over 10 horse with 5 second places being 5-2. And I'm sure David loves that too.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And but they're off, unfortunately. So let's just go to Kentucky Downs. But let's by the time we got there, it would be too late. But we have
I'm watching it right now, so I'm sure a lot of our people in the chat are watching it too. But I'll let everybody know what's happening. But yeah, Kentucky Downs is off in 6 minutes from now, so let's go there.
All right, let's start with the race sim here. We have the $2 million non-graded stakes gun runner here. So you don't see $2 million non-graded stakes very often, if at all, ever.
Did you say $2 million for a ground non-graded stakes race? No wonder everybody's shipping down there. Scotty, you got to get a turf horse next year.
And Mr. Winchell, that this is his track, and Gunrunner was his horse. So, All right, you see the 11 fading there. The 7's got the blue arrow, and is closing. And New Century, the 7, former Woodbine Grade 1 winner as a juvenile, but has come up a little short this year. New Century wins the race sim there. And you'll see we do have analysis there from Jake. He also likes New Century there a little bit.
So the 7 horse, the Mizzen Queen, did end up winning. I noticed it has a very low win percentage, and it raced only one time in this country over at Del Mar, and we have a new win percentage coming in a couple of months, and it's really accounting more for foreign horses. So this one being an Irish bred that only raced here once in the country, and we don't get much data on the foreign horses yet. That's going to happen next year, but So just be careful. It was the EquinEdge second pick, but I noticed that the win percentage algorithm has a hard time picking up some of the foreign horses that have only raced in the country either never or one time. So just watch for that. But yeah, the 7 did win the race.
David, you want to kick us off here at Kentucky Downs?
Sure, absolutely. The way Bill Mott's barn has been going, especially late in the Saratoga meet, is they were on fire, him and Junior. It leads me to the path that Capitol Hill, the 12 horse, has a big shot here. And I know each turf course is different, and Kentucky Downs is so unique, and some horses just don't handle it. But if you look on August 31st, this horse had a bullet workout on the training track, Oklahoma training track, which is a good sign for Bill Mott. They usually don't work out bullets. And comes from the Saratoga Derby Invitational. It was a grade 1 early in the meet, mile and 3/16. And who did he lose to? A world beater, but only by 3 1/4 lengths. That was a 7th place finish. World beater is an up and coming horse for Bill's son Riley, and was in Manila the race before that against Zulu Kingdom and ran a solid second at 21-1. I mean, the problem is this horse does not have speed and needs a pace up front, which I'm hoping this horse gets. So I was really at the price at 8-1. I really had some interest in that horse with Junior Alvarado on, and the other horse who will add to the pace, who's Hall of Fame, which is grade 2, who ran 3rd to Zulu Kingdom in a small field. And with Jose Ortiz on is Clever Again, the 10 horse, who has a shot here again, 5-1. I thought chipping down from Saratoga, and let me give you a crazy horse here that I thought had a shot, and that's the 6 Plenza. And I'm going to go on the same wavelength, shipping down from Saratoga. And one of the reasons I like Capitol Hill a bit was I'm sorry, not Capitol Hill. We're looking at. That's a race from Colonial Downs that I just think if you look at Plenza's last race against a horse named Simulate and 13 Colonies second, I think Simulate has a big future on the turf. And this horse, Plenza, was just totally eliminated, taking up during the race. And I was watching that race, and it was early in the meet. The horses had a little bit of a break, hasn't raced since July 18th. Now, third start off a layoff. And if you look at the Churchill Downs race on June 15th, there's nothing wrong with that race. This horse closed off a pace and won pretty impressively in a 12-horse field. So I think this horse is totally overlooked at 25-1 and could run well here. So it would be either 12 and 10 as the prime plays, and the 6 as a sneaky long shot here.
All right, so I was completely different than you on the weekend preview show. I was on the 7 New Century, also in the grade 1 Saratoga Derby. The one that the foreign horse, first time in the country with Sadler and Pratt, Nameron from Germany. I'm not buying the low SORs here. And this horse seems to always be in contention. It has some speed, and you're getting a little tad bit of a price at 7-2 there. And then my long shot was the 3 for B & Cone here. The 1 B & Cone horse of the weekend that is not off a layoff. And it has one, it did win the Bears Den at Gulfstream at this distance. We've seen how speed favoring this course has been. I would give Layabout a fighting chance here, the 3, to just sit right off Clever Again and be able to pounce there and take over late.
The only thing I'll say, Oldy, I understand that 27-1. I'm never going to talk anybody off a 27-1 shot. That's just not me. That's a good NHC horse, obviously, but I thought maybe a little cheap coming out of those Gulfstream races. Let me look at the SORs on here. But thought those races were a little cheap. 66, 52. Yeah, I think it may be a little too cheap for these.
Scotty, any thoughts before we get out there?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the 2-horse Native Runner seems like a horse that could surprise in here. This is a pretty consistent horse. Had a really rough time last time out against an easier group. I don't know how you beat New Century. This horse only needs to get a good trip. Had an absolute horrific trip last time out. This horse has been running in like literally almost all Grade 1 races. This one just looks too tough in my mind. I don't think this field came up that all that strong personally, but Native Runner at 33-1 looks like a viable option. This horse is moving up 10 points in GSR from that 9 furlong. So I think the cutback in distance is going to be really good for this one. And then, but I think New Century, if I would have seen this ahead of time, I didn't handicap, but if I would have singled New Century. Although you do have to be careful, of course, on the synthetic, or not the synthetic, but these turf races where you have so many horses. But this horse has to get the trip. But I think this horse is going to get a very good trip here at Kentucky Downs. It's a different layout, and I think it's going to play well to New Century's style, who can be further back or be tactical. So I think Irad's going to give this horse a very good trip and going to probably be very tough to beat. And Brendan Walsh really not doing great, but one of the best turf trainers in the country.
Absolutely. And Scotty, let me point out, New Century also comes out of that Saratoga Derby Invitational, where Capitol Hill was only a quarter length behind.
Gate.
So, but you're right. New Century had a worse trip, but New Century has a habit of getting into trouble. So, I think both of those horses are contenders.
It's a lot easier though to get into trouble when you're around the oval, right? And then now this is not that. So this horse could get a very good trip and really like it here at Kentucky Downs.
Yeah, I mean, from a class standpoint, there's no contest with New Century compared to the rest of this field. But
no,
again, my concern, like we saw last time, where you had a horse go 22 and change and continue to go on, is that this track is playing like a dirt course rather than a turf course, and we're thinking about it in terms of it being a turf course.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. This one just like Rob's saying, this one just, honestly, this horse gets a good trip. It's just way too classy for these. This field, I mean, for a $2 million race, I would imagine Brendan Walsh was licking his chops in here. Same with Irad Ortiz going, okay, well, we're definitely on the best horse. Guitar Racing is just a really great outfit to the ownership group. So this is a big class relief from what this horse has been facing.
Absolutely. Yeah, Scotty, I agree. Coming out of those Grade 1s. But the only point is, with that being said, the horse is only 3 for 10 lifetime. Puts blinkers on, which is an interesting move. I'm not entirely sold.
Clever again, the first two to break that line. Plensa and
Broke good. We talked about the horse
positioned with
probably being
Rolando
closer
down the
to the
extreme
pace,
outside, and
only
Amaran
about 4
handily
lengths back,
poised along the fence. Then
which
comes
is
Handicapping,
Irad's got this
back
horse
in the field by New
3 lengths back
Century,
right now. So
and Tiz Dashing's in that line of horses. Native
he's asking
Runner
the horse a
along
little
the
bit early on
inside.
to stay in
Well, back
contention.
in the
I
field
like
is
that.
Siesta Key.
He's not having to ask a lot, but he's got the 13 on the
As they
outside
head into
of
the
him,
far turn, approaching the 5/8 pole. Rolando skips to the front.
He has to be
Rolando
very,
in his
very
turf
happy.
debut leads
This
from
horse
Anagata,
it doesn't look like this horse
New
is going to be
Century
impeded
making
in any
headway
way,
to fourth. A length
shouldn't
and a
have any
half
issues
is
here
Dashing
from
fifth,
here.
followed by
Looks pretty
Forge
clear to me
Steel.
if he's
2
good
lengths
enough.
to Namaron, who'd be 8 off the pace, followed out wide on the course by Capitol Hill. He has the conspicuous bright lime cap. Plensa follows the rail towards the 3/8 marker. Clever again, finding himself right back in the tail end division. Native Runners on his inside as they draw to the top of the lane. And the back last of all is Siesta Key as they turn for home. They have a quarter mile left to go. Rolando. It's Rolando being taken on by Jacoso. The big colt moves up on the outside and he puts the body in front. 3/16 to go.
Come on, Plensa.
Jacoso for Ben Curtis kicking away. Forge Steel's on the inside. Here comes Plensa with a flashing finish down the outside. Plensa and Namaron gets involved late. Plensa hits the lead from Namaron and Jacoso, and Plensa wins. Second, Jacoso. Photo third between Namaron and Layabout, who flew.
Wow.
Now you need a double or triple boom there. Gave you the crazy horse at Whew.
So good.
There we go. And we'll give you an applause for that, too.
Thank you. No cheers, just send checks.
Gratuity is accepted.
Yes, and Rusty Arnold, and another thing I forgot to point out, Rusty Arnold, just really seems to excel at these Kentucky Downs meets over the last couple of years, and the breeding, Caravaggio's, these horses have been running on turf, and simulate, impressed me, and it's I think has a future on the turf, and again, I didn't think the horse would win, which is really good for me, but I thought it would run well and ran even better than I thought.
Yeah, great call.
For sure. So we're going Gulfstream for the Florida Sire Desert Vixen Stakes. It's a mouthful. We were surprised when Lena Lou stayed in here instead of running for more than $1 million at Kentucky Downs tomorrow. And big GSR drop there on Lena Lou. Scotty, even though she's 52% to win.
Yeah.
Dean Cohn also, and Justin and I pointed all the stuff out on the weekend preview, also over his last 23 off a layoff.
Well, the thing is that the fact that he chose here, he must not think all that highly of her.
No.
And I think
the horse isn't ready to fire.
Yates' horse is decent. The 2-horse Finding Strength. I mean, that was a really nice maiden win, and I think that that horse Rios has been aboard for the first 2 tries. I think that the 2 Finding Strength is probably a horse I would like a little bit in here.
All right. Well, David and I believe we're both on Love Like Lucy for Safi with Zayas aboard here, if I remember correctly.
Yes, yeah, and again, when I pick a 6-5 favorite now, Lena Lou is 6-5 also, but it's going to be close at post time who's going to be the favorite. But just on that race alone, that debut race in the state bred
horses are
quite impressive. Stays in state bred company, draws a good outside post here. I think this horse just looks real solid.
That's so. Florent Giroux has won $4 million.
Number 1
today,
finished
guys.
3rd. Number 3 Layabout was 4th.
It is crazy.
Yeah. Hold on. It sounds like I left the sound on the wrong feed there, but I caught it in time before the race actually started for once. All right, we're good there. I'll turn it on when the race starts. But I'm excited about this promotion, Scotty, that you're going to talk about in a few minutes too.
Yep. I think it's the
Love Like
promotion we've ever done.
I agree, and I think that I think everybody's going to want to hit the like and the subscribe when they hear about this promotion as well.
Well, I mean, for those that aren't if they're just past buyers, I mean, if they're monthlies and things like that, it doesn't really change anything for them.
Number 7, Love Like Lucy, fractious behind the gate. Jockey Edgar Zayas has hopped off.
It's really to hopefully get new interest and people to come try it for the first time, or people that were maybe part of EquinEdge early on, but we know how much EquinEdge has grown, and so maybe it gives them an opportunity to try it again. So hopefully we can do that, but and some other really good things too we can talk about if you guys want to. We'll talk
Love
about
Like Lucy is now ready.
Products and tools that are
They're
coming
in the gate.
But I like
there's some amazing stuff going.
I think the 2 could beat the 7 and the 3.
And they're off in the Desert Vixen.
At your own risk, my
The
friend.
2 favorites were the first 2 into stride, Love Like Lucy and Lenny Lou. Lenny Lou to shove a neck in front. At the rail, that's Finding Strength, who joins the top flight. Away 4th is Happy Feet Hannah. Out the middle is Evolution, second last. And the early trailer is Copper Creole. And the run to the half-mile point, it's Lenny Lou doing battle with Finding Strength. They're locked up heads apart with half a mile remaining. And third is Love Like Lucy. Happy Feet Hannah's in the yellow, fourth at the inside. Evolution 3 wide and 4 to the trailer. Copper
Looks like a
Creole.
no-go on the
Went the
7,
opening
I think.
quarter in 22 seconds flat. They're rolling right along. At the inside,
okay.
Finding Strength. To the outside, Lenny Lou. They continue to
Under
spar.
already. Yeah.
Evolution tries to reap the spoils of this fast pace while racing into third. She passes Love Like Lucy, who needs to do a lot better than that. Dropping back Happy Feet Hannah, and Copper Creole has trailed throughout. Off the turn and the stretch drive, Lenny Lou Finding Strength. They continue to battle. Love Like Lucy try to roll at the rail. Evolution is flattened out. They're an eighth of a mile from home. Lenny Lou has the lead, but Finding Strength is very game. Finding Strength coming back at Lenny Lou. Finding Strength. Lenny Lou, a swirling Desert Vixen. Here's the wire. It's a photo finish. Horse race equal as it was Lenny Lou outside. It was Finding Strength.
Thank you. Wow.
I think
That
the two got
I'm
the
going to
nose
predict
out.
dead heat. Dead heat.
No, I think the 2 got its head down inside.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like to me, anyways. Last
took away
second,
money.
I think it got the. I think so, Patrick. I think the 2 got the head bob.
I'm gonna call a dead heat.
Dead heat. Okay.
I thought it was the 2 also. I thought they were on opposite bobs, which is going to make it dead heat hard here.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. The
Mm.
3 might have got the head bob.
That's
That's
why
a
I'm
tough
saying
one.
dead heat. Yep.
Let's see. Maybe we'll see it here.
It's a weird angle though, right?
Yeah, that's a hard angle. I mean,
Oh,
based on-
Ooh, that might be a heater. David
That's
may
tough.
have called that.
I'm going to change my. I obviously want the 2. Well, they're showing the 2, but I don't know now. Now I'm confused. But it looked to me on that other angle, looked like the 3 got it.
All right, we got about 7 minutes to Woodbine, so let's.
Yeah,
No,
3-2.
you're right. 3 got it.
Uh,
And Scotty, you were right. When on the first, I agree with you. To me, it was either the 2-1 or it's a dead heat. I couldn't see this 3 running out. Yeah,
Yeah, but when they
last
showed
angle-
the first slow mo, you could see
Right.
the 3 got the head bob. But yeah, 3-2. Oh, that was a really great horse race, you guys.
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. Actually, that from the top of the stretch on, those 2 were neck and neck. That was great.
Right, and that shows you too. A lot of cases, it's tough to break your maiden and then come back in a race like this.
It
But
is.
Finding Strength was much better than the 7
Mm.
in a similar situation.
all right, Scotty. Well, we have about 7 minutes to Woodbine here. I think this is a great opportunity
it?
for us to talk
Okay.
about the promotion. So let me take the live racing off there for a second. We'll bring the screen out altogether, so it's just the 3 of us up here.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
So the company has been growing every year, as you guys know. Not as much as we had hoped. Transparency, like I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot more than what it's been, but we've grown every year. Every year has been a growth, so we've never gone backwards. But what we've seen is people that stay 2 months or longer, we have a 90% retention, which is unheard of. But what we have seen is people that try EquinEdge for the first time, even if they're horse players, they're completely confused. And so we know we have some work to do as far as like tutorials and things like that. Of course, we have the coaching classes on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I do Thursdays, Justin does Wednesdays. And if you're new watching this, I really encourage you to do that because it'll help you a lot to understand. But what we've decided to do is the Keeneland meet is coming up. And of course, for day passes, we charge $7.95 a day. I believe there's 17 days within the Keeneland meet that starts October 3rd and goes through October 25th. And we're going to give away the entire meet that's open to anybody for Keeneland for $7.95. So for the price of a day pass for one track, you actually get the entire meet. And so hopefully that's going to encourage a lot of the people that were a part of this a long, long time ago. And EquinEdge. I mean, there's a lot of them, thousands of them, in fact, that came and then left. Hopefully we can get them to try it again. We're gonna do some marketing for this. You're gonna probably see this all over Facebook and Twitter and everywhere. I know the team is already working on campaigns and things like that. And then so it's going to be for the entire meet. And of course, then we have Breeders' Cup coming up. So Breeders' Cup is a week after the end of Keeneland. So hopefully we can parlay a lot of the new people that come on, and then a lot of new people too that have never heard of EquinEdge. So, or people that have on Twitter and seen us but never tried us. Maybe that'll be an opportunity for them to go, hey, I'll try that. Why not? For $7.95 for the entire meet. So. But yeah, anyways, that's what we've got going there. Plus, of course, now we've got live streaming and race replays on probably about 70% of the tracks. That's been a really big upgrade. We've improved most of the metrics. We have a new GSR coming. That's really, really neat. Of course, you guys know we don't judge the GSR, which is our genetic strength rating, breeding metric that goes back 3 generations. It's not judged by a win percentage, but we judge it on a lot of different KPIs and factors. But I will say this, that if you're just looking at it from a win percentage perspective, and just know that if that alone is higher, all the other parts of this are higher. But right now, the current GSR wins about 18% of the time. So if you're on Race View and it's the top GSR per race, wins about 18% of the time. The new GSR is winning 26% of the time. That is, in my world of working on algorithms, we're hoping for half of a point, you guys, like literally a half a point. So to be able to improve the win percentage of the GSR 7 points is unheard of. And that just goes to show you some of the stuff that we're working on right now. We're going to be doing the new Handy View whiz, but what we decided to do was take the current version, but add some of the things that are on the new Handy View. And so the next thing I'll tell you is that we have 80 new trainer stats that are coming. They're going to be right above where the workouts are. So kind of the same format that you see it on past performances on other places. You're going to see all those trainer stats on top of that. We think we might even release that next week. So that's going to be fantastic as well. Oh man, yeah, I appreciate that, Al. We don't have gift cards, but that's something we need to consider. But yeah, for $7.95, I'm hoping one of the reasons why I wanted to promote it on the show was hopefully people can let people know, because especially where we're seeing most of the new customers are coming from people that use EquinEdge, because they have time to be able to show their friends, hey, check this out. This is how you use it. You know what I mean? So, but the trainer stats are coming, also results, and also horses that faced each other in past races. That's going to be on the current format. I think that'll probably be released probably in the next, I would say, 2 months. One of the things I'm most excited about, you guys, that's going to be here maybe even as soon as a month from now, is we're creating what's called an EquinEdge power rating. And what this power rating is going to do, it works basically the same way as a buyer number, but it's not a speed number. Essentially, you're going to be able to check out you'll see a power rating on every past performance. And when you see that, you'll be able to see how classy the horse is. Plus, the one thing this power rating is going to do really good, it's going to show you horses that are having momentum, horses that are going in the right direction or going in the other direction. So it's going to be really, really good with that. So super excited about this EquinEdge power rating.
Can I make one suggestion to our loyal group of listeners? If you guys can just go out and find one person each and just bring them to try the product, that would be amazing. I'm sure we come up with some stuff for you guys as well, but I think that this is a great opportunity to just bring your friends to the product, especially the ones who are still printing out, the forms and stuff like that, or going and buying the form. Introduce them to the product. Let's bring them to a class. Give them the Keeneland meat for $7.95 and have them try it, because think once you try it and you learn a little bit about it, it's second to none. So, and obviously I'm biased, but so just challenge you guys to do that. We'd appreciate it. And I know, Scotty, there's a question about auction prices here, which I already kind of know the answer to from Wiz here.
Like what? What are we talking about when we talk about auction?
Are we going to have the auction prices for horses?
Oh, that one. We talked about that once before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that it probably won't be next year, if I'm being honest. It's because we have so much to get done. We've got the link feature. We've got we're going to show there's just so much to do. We want to show horses, around the world, globally. That's in the works. We want the EE stable. So we're creating a stable. We want the community is going to be able to have a chat room where you can talk about any race. So you'll be able to go to like race number 1 over at Churchill Downs as an example and talk about that race if you're having a difficult time with it. You'll also be able to share all your notes with your friends. Like there's some of the coolest stuff that's coming, you guys. But again, and we know we've never done any marketing whatsoever in the company. All we have is Twitter. But we've never paid for any kind of marketing or done anything like that. And the reason is we wanted to make sure that the site was secure and that we could scale and that it wasn't, breaking down. And we've had some issues that a lot of people have, not just us, to be fair, but being a new company, being a startup in software. When I was first incorporating EquinEdge, the attorney, that's what he does for a living, is he just works with brand new companies. And he looked at me and goes, Scotty, are you sure you want to do this? He goes, first of all, horse racing aside, because he knew horse racing, he goes, software companies, only 5% of software companies make it. And I'm like, oh my God, I must be an absolute moron. And I'm like, yeah, I think I want to do this. And it's much harder than anyone can imagine because, like, as an example, and I have a good team, if they tell me something's going to be done in a week, it's likely going to be done in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. But I've had teams in the past that would tell me something's going to be done in a week and it'd be 4 or 5 months. Like, it's not for the faint of heart. But we know we have to do something with like tutorials. We have to be able to onboard people. They have to be able to come to the site and understand it. That's the most difficult thing to do. And eventually we'll do that. But right now I want to focus on keep on securing the site. But I do coaching classes as you guys know, on Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Justin does, I believe, 3 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. I think that's the time. If you go on EquinEdge.com, it's free to do so. And yeah. And thank you so much, Doug, for saying that, by the way. The intercom button on the bottom right of your screen, our team is so amazing. So amazing. Brad and Riley and Amy, they will respond to you so quickly, answer questions that you have. And then if it's something that they can't answer, they'll forward it on to me.
And just to answer without tooting my own horn here too much here, great director. So we're going into my 6th year using EquinEdge. I've made a flat bet profit because I'm in Illinois. You can't really it's the best rebate you can get is about 2 to 3%. I've made a flat bet profit 4 out of 5 years using EquinEdge.
But and I'm going to say something on that note, and that's just more speaks to you. I'm not even going to say EquinEdge is a great help. There is, in my humble opinion, absolutely zero. If you take the time, you won't be able to do without it. Like, you can't. I would quit horse racing if I didn't have EquinEdge. That's a fact.
Yeah.
But that being said, betting is an entirely different ball game that comes down to each of our disciplines. I'm not a flat bet profit because I like action. And last year I made money for sure, but the year before that I got my ass handed to me. But I was also playing every single race every single day without, you know what I mean? So you have to be disciplined as well, and you're a very disciplined bettor. So you are.
So sometimes, Scotty, if I could be more, that's something I think all of us, want to work on, and that there are ones where you're like, well, why did I do that? And those are the ones I have to eliminate. I don't really play win bets or doubles outside of the show because they're not my forte. I got into doing them a little too much too. But the great director, I'm going to put the WhatsApp chat, which for now is the chat we have up, the link to join that. I'll if you or anybody else wants to join, please join there. Justin's in there, I'm in there, Mike Saletta's in there. There's some other EquinEdge dignitaries and stuff like that, as well as great handicappers in there. And we talk theory and we talk tickets, and there's some bad tickets, some good tickets, the whole deal in there. So
I agree, Jake. By the way, I can't overstate this, you guys, is that when we see people that unsubscribe, we ask why you're unsubscribing. What we see, the biggest thing we see is your prices, you're overpriced. And when I think about that, we're charging $100 a month for unlimited. You have every track, everything all month long. And when I see people that in the industry, they're 3 times us. So for whatever reason, we do get that a lot, and I so disagree with that. Like, we're very reasonably priced. But the other reason is people getting their asses handed to them, and the betting is just a huge part of it. And I don't love when people say I won because of EquinEdge, and I don't like when they say we lost because of EquinEdge. I don't ever hear anybody say I lost because of the daily racing form. Like, this is a tool. And so many, and that tells me when somebody says I can't win with your product or I lost because of EquinEdge, I know that they don't know how to use the product. They don't get it. Immediately, I know that they don't get it. This is not, this is a tool. This is how the way I try to explain EquinEdge to new people, you guys, and I won't take too long on this, but I think it's an important point. Think about if you've been using, let's just say, a form or past performances. Most people believe that pace makes the race. I think we would all agree with that. Like, pace is everything. And so when we used a form or whatever we used, we had to use the call times with the running lines, with the track variant. And we had to do this math either with a calculator or in our head to try to calculate who's the fastest horse in the race, or is there going to be a speed duel? We can do that in 2 seconds now between the pace number and the race simulator's first call. More accurately without taking 1 second. And we already know, because we know that 80% of the time, that race simulator at the first call will predict who's going to be on the lead. It's insane. Without having to try to do that math, and then even if we did, we wouldn't be as good. You know how many tournaments I've won over the last 4 or 5 years, and I didn't even handicap prior. I mean, you'll never see me handicapping the night before for a tournament. My time is valuable. I don't want horse racing to take away my time from my family, my friends, things like that in my life. I want it to enhance my life. I don't want it to be cumbersome and a burden that it's going to take so much of my time. And it's one of the reasons why I created EquinEdge. But anyways, that's my point. Like, betting is a huge part of this. And if you're going to be in this game, you have to be very smart about how you actually bet your hard-earned money.
Absolutely. And one of the other things I'll say too is budget management is important too. So if you have X number of dollars that you're going to allow yourself to lose and you're having a bad day, cut yourself off. Even if it's before you hit that number. If you're having a bad day, determine you're having a bad day. But if not, when you hit that number, don't take yourself into deeper debt, because that becomes a harder to climb out of. And we talk about betting, but budget management as well. And the other thing is the psychological aspect of I just won something. Always make sure to take a portion of that out of your account, because
I agree with you, Oldy. And since you brought this and you kept this conversation going, I live and eat and breathe this, you guys, because I've had, like, in the very beginning of me getting into horse racing, I had no money management skills whatsoever, and I was stressed out constantly. I had a passion for the game, and so I'm very passionate about this subject, as you guys know. And I just think it's super important. Like, for the new players, we need new players, and I think EquinEdge helps that. But at the same time, I want the new players to know, even if you go over and you win early on, you're going to be humbled quickly if you don't respect the money and respect your bets and be very careful how you manage your money. Just don't ever think that you've got this game conquered. It's going to humble you fast.
Yeah, right. And I can be the prime example of that, because after winning a huge score like the NHC, you think that, you're going back and, I'm coming back to Rochester and I'm just going to light a fuse and I'm on fire. And it humbles you real quickly. I remember having a winner, $28 winner the first day I got back from NHC. I'm like, boom, I am on fire. And then I don't think I cashed for like 3 weeks after that. And it can humble you very quickly. So money management is a very, very important game. And it's the same thing. Play what you can afford. Okay. Yeah. And scared money never wins. If you're wagering on a race and your heart's beating and you're going to have a panic attack if you lose, you're betting too much. Yeah. It should be a comfortable wager, whether it's $5 for you, $50 for you, or $500, whatever your income level is, or your wealth level. You make it a comfortable number. So
exactly. And there's always tomorrow. Yeah. I even if one person is listening to this and really listens carefully, like there's another race tomorrow, and and I know it's probably not. We're sitting there. We're a handicapping site and stuff like that, but there's no reason why. Try betting a quarter of what you normally bet per race, and I bet you still have that same adrenaline. I bet you do. Like, just don't feel like you got to go all in at all times. By the way, too, you guys, this special is not up on the website yet. It will be up 2 weeks before, so October 3rd. So like about maybe about a week and a half from now, 2 weeks from now, you'll see the special up there for the entire Keeneland meet. So if you're a day pass buyer, then this one's for you. And let people know too. It's an opportunity if they want to try it. It cost them $8 basically to try EquinEdge and see what we all know.
That's a great deal, because I know so many horse players who love Keeneland, myself included, who focus on it and just can't wait for that boutique meet. And I think that is just a great promotion. And I'm going to note that a few of my horse playing friends, especially no names mentioned, a couple of guys from Canada that I know that would be interested. So,
well, but by the way, too, on one more thing I want to point out about the money side of it, and that is go on NTRA, go to NTRA.com, and for $50 join. And you can play tournaments for almost no money, and you put up your fee and you're done. Like, then you can put in your picks, you can get better, see if you're picking winners, things like that. Who knows? You might end up in Vegas with us for the NHC in March. And you don't have to spend a bunch of money to do that. You don't have to try to manage your money per se, because you're just, it costs, to enter a feeder. What does it cost? $18, David?
$18. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really good way of doing it.
And there's just so much money on the line at the NHC, Scotty, that if you're a small time player like I was when I hit, again, everybody's verbiage of small time player is different for every guy. There's just too much money on the line to not give it a shot, in my opinion. And, you can do it for 18. You can just manage your money. You got a whole year to try to qualify once the next NHC cycle begins. Even if you want to do $18 a week and do our Friday, the Friday contest, all you have to do is hit one, and, it's $75. So you can get in for a limited amount, and have discipline if you don't have a lot of, wagering capital. But while we're getting into this race, I just want to say that, I like a horse here, along with the favorite Hypocrisy. I think Italian Soiree for John Terranova may run well here off that win at Saratoga in the Coronation Cup. Surprise at 15-1 with a perfect rail trip. Bullet workout September 1st. I'm looking for a board hit for Italian Soiree. The 11th.
Yeah, and I'll say that I like the foreign horse here. Talabi, something like that. You say Talabi, I say Talabi. But I also thought that Kilwin if the horse takes the grass like it did last year as well. But
I mean, it's won
I didn't-
$706,000, you guys. It won 590,000, and it's only started Kentucky Downs going the same distance. Actually, won this race last year, I guess, right?
Yep, correct.
Yes, and also, a lot of that money he won the test last start and switched to the dirt and hit 2 scores on the dirt. But if you look at the GSR, it looks like does get a higher GSR for turf. So going back to the turf, and Rusty Arnold again, like we mentioned,
brilliantly, Chloe showing plenty of early dazzle together with Garda Brazil and Jungle Beast in the white colours. She's a funky drummer going up within about 2 lengths of the lead. It ain't two is back along the inside as they come down past the 5/8 pole. Tabiti is in the 3 path,
so
and Pondering's racing 4 wide as they draw towards the half mile.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Classic
it was almost
Q
12
is
lengths
next,
back at the
followed
first
by
call.
Abiento with Dylan Davis wearing
On
the
the
Johnny
dirt in the
Cash
test,
silks in
grade
the
1 and
Music City
finished. So this
Stakes
horse is gonna
as they
finish
pass
for
the
sure,
3/8 pole. Back last of all, Kilwin, he'd be 3 lengths behind the second last horse, or she would. Garda Brazil's the leader at the top of the lane. It's Garda Brazil from in second position. She's So Spicy. And She's a Funky Drummer is up prominently positioned together with Italian Soiree. And back nearer the inside, Tabiti's trying to carve a passage through, Pondering, and Abiento's the widest runner. Followed then by Classic Q at the 8th pole.
57%
and She's
to
So
win.
Spicy has kicked on willingly. Chloe is into second.
Wow.
She's So Spicy from Chloe and Tabiti. She's So Spicy getting the 6.5 furlongs powerfully. Wins 2.5 lengths to Chloe, Tabiti, and Classic Q
Guys,
fourth.
that horse, I missed that. That horse was the top EquinEdge pick, and that horse was 57% to win.
And was 3 to 1.
It was 3 to 1, which I think is the big point there. Or maybe you don't like the 6.5 at off the GSR drop at like 2 to 5, but at 3 to 1, I think you take that risk there.
And just to go back, and I don't love, and I'm not a red border per se, but when you look at Kilwin, was totally overbet. 8% win percentage here on EquinEdge, and this horse, if you look at the races, the horse she improved dramatically when switched to the dirt. I know that the GSRs were higher for turf, but if you look at her turf races, then nothing compared. Even though she won a race last year at Kentucky Downs, her test win and the win before at Churchill Downs are much superior to her turf performances. So taking 8, 9 to 5 on a horse like that, coming back to turf, it is just She's So Spicy was just an incredible price. That's crazy.
And a way too easy of a lead too.
3 to 1. That is just insane, and the fastest horse in the race as well.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good for the
we talked about that, right?
Top win percentage ROI too.
Oldy, show the race simulator in the first call, and show when we talk about how good that first call of the race simulator is. Look at that. Like, it's just so good. And you got a 57% horse that's going to be in the lead like that. It's pretty incredible.
I mean, the 9 and the 3 didn't really run, but it pretty much finished up that way for the 10. So,
in my mind though, too, when I look the race simulator is great, but you have to use the metrics all together. But when you look at the race simulator, not the race simulator, but when you look at this, where do you find the value? Well, you see, first of all, it has the race simulator has the 10 winning. The horse is 57% to win, and it's the EquinEdge top pick. That's 3 different things pointing towards this 10.
Yeah.
Right, and the 10 also did dust Kilwin back at Churchill Downs in May. But I think the question, Scotty, on the 10 horse was the distance. The furthest she's gone is 6 furlongs. Maybe this question was 6.5. And he also had IRAD on this horse to get 3 to 1 on a horse. And I'm sorry I missed it. Yeah, I mean, I would have been all over this horse, but the bottom line is that maybe Irad takes more money in New York than, but yeah, it just, and again, I think Great Director had mentioned this before, where you're looking for value. This was a wager I would have made. It was value because when you have an underlay, you will have a horse that's an overlay. And an extreme underlay to me was Kilwing at that price. So then somebody is going to, it may not be this, she's so spicy. It may have been another horse. So at 3-1, that horse was an excellent value. I predicted this horse to be 2-1 or, at post time. So that's getting tremendous.
All right, here's where I'm looking for value because we're going to go to Gulfstream for a handicap here. The one I know for being Cone here, who's 11-1, but 5-1 on the morning line. Winner last time out against at this distance on this track against this SOR.
So, okay. So, and to answer Great Director's question as well, I will just point out that one of the horses I'm looking at is the EquinEdge long shot for a few reasons. Oldy, can you show the past performances of the 5 horse?
Yeah. I just think this.
So look at the GSR. So when he says, can you show in detail how to spot the surface GSR switch? So look at the last race. The horse didn't run good. It faced a tougher group in the SOR that was a 68. Today's a 66. The win percentage is the same, but the GSR goes up 8 points from 63 to 71. So, and now when you look at today, the horse is the EquinEdge long shot. It's 5-2 on the EE morning line, which is co-favorite with the 3 horse. As far as our morning line, it's actually getting bet as well. And then when you look at the SOR, Oldie, that the 3 and the 5 and the 2, they're right there, but the 5 has got a lot of class in the 67. So, and it's got the top pace number. So there's a lot pointing towards the 5 horse.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the 5 needs the lead. That would be my only concern there, where I don't think the 3 does. But
if you look at the race, if you look at the race 8 back on September 7th last year, if you look at that about the same time, look at that horse rated at the same surface and distance of synthetic in 1.70 miles. So maybe the horse doesn't have to have the lead. Although, well, we'll see that the 3 is going to probably go, but the 3 doesn't have to go. The 3 looks really, I'm surprised you're getting 7-2 on the 3, to be honest with you. But just to show just to show the Great Director about what to look for on past performances, that's what you're looking for. You're trying to see a decrease in the SOR, so it's facing easier, an increase in the win percentage if possible, and then an increase in the GSR.
For sure.
Okay, if we go to the 9th at Gulfstream. Again, I'm looking for value here, and off its last 2 races, I'm looking at using this 9-horse Stroke of Midnight somewhere. That's a horse that raced, won its last 2, one on the turf at 7.5 furlongs, and came back on the synthetic at 1.70 miles. Back-to-back wins. The horse is rounding into form, and you're getting a big price. Let me just look at it comes out of a 60 SOR, so steps up a bit here from a 60 to a 66. But at that price, I would give that horse a little bit of a shot. Stroke of Midnight at 11-1.
Guys, here's an interesting horse. So when you're talking about how competitive this race is on paper, the 3rd lowest EE morning line, I love this algorithm, is 5-1 on the 1 horse. It's 14-1 right now. If the 3 doesn't run, then you can't even look at the win percentages. Like, it's an interesting horse anyways. I mean, it barely won last time out against, well, the SOR says it's a very similar group.
Last time, so we await Americans.
Interesting. The 1 horse is a nice price play possibly.
Yeah, no, that was the one I brought up at the beginning when we first started talking about this race.
And also the second Scotty pick, Takayo, I think, has a shot. Quite
10-1.
A wide open race here. Failed as a favorite last time and got beat by I know. And Prevent had beaten this horse before. But these horses looks like they take turns beating each other. So their form is a little spotty. So I'm on a 9 here, Stroke of Midnight.
Jaramillo was on the 2-horse last time out, and he got off to ride the 5.
Yeah.
And but I'm not even looking at the win percentages because the 3 horses taken a third of the win percentage in the entire field.
He's
So
up.
for me, I'm looking at the other metrics. I'm relying on them now. I really love using
Picture perfect start.
I like using Reyes.
At the rail, it's Tucayo, who's one of the
he's a
first
very
into stride.
capable
I
jockey.
know,
He
is
keeps
moving up
nice
the
spots on
challenge.
him.
Away in the top flight
Yeah.
is And You Wish. Prevents 4 wide. American Speed drops over to
Did you have
prevent
the one
5
getting
wide.
on the lead
And
here,
it's
Scotty?
Caleb
I-
in front of
No,
Goes the
not at
Clown.
all.
And on his outside is Stroke of Midnight. I know. And Jonathan
a smart
Ocasio
move,
have
though.
the rail and the
It
lead.
really is a smart
Tucayo
move.
is an in-hand second. Rushing
You can
forward on
save
the
ground
outside,
there.
Stroke of Midnight. He won't settle. He's 5 wide here. And that forces Prevent to go on with it, and Prevent will go on with it. 24-1 for the quarter. It's Prevent. Now on top by a length and a half. Stroke of Midnight makes a bold blitz into second. Tucayo and then I know both come off the inside to try to go after the leader. American Speed and Kalik are next. And You Wish, he got shuffled all the way toward the back of the field, held up at the back, but comfortably traveling as Goes the Clown. They run their way to the half-mile grounds. They went the half in 47-3. Lots of mid-race action here. The leader Prevent by a length and a quarter. Stroke of Midnight on the outside. Tucayo's in the middle. Running home from the outside, Kalik is up into 4th. Covered up
This
American
flag is moving
Speed.
nicely,
Dropping back,
guys.
I know.
Not
Then
fast
Goes
yet.
the Clown and You Wish. They speed to the top of the stretch now. They move to 3/4. The leader, Prevent, tries to sneak away. From between horses, it's Tucayo. Outside, Stroke of Midnight. Kalik is next. American Speed tries to rally. He needs a little racing room here. Then I know. Goes the Clown. White blinkers, fans across the course. Who do you like here? They straighten for the drive. The leader is Prevent. Off the inside, it's American Speed. From between horses, Stroke of
Good
Midnight.
call,
They
Scotty.
come past the 8th pole. The leader is still Prevent. From between horses, it's Stroke of Midnight, but Prevent has all the answers. It's Prevent,
Give me
and
a
Amisael Jaramillo to win it. Up for
it's
second
almost
goes
a
the
Scotty
Clown.
David
Third was Stroke of
example
Midnight.
there.
My horse 9 ran a decent race, so almost held on for second. Third is okay at 11-1.
Audacious
All right, we got
is
going in
on
the
move.
gated
Ecstasy
at
has gone
Woodbine.
in.
I believe I was 3-4 here in the
Miss Bodacious is
in
now
the,
set. Last along is May Strong. Stand by for a start.
in the pick
And
5.
the field is set to
And
run.
I do like the 5 here a little bit.
All in
May
lockdown.
Strong.
How are you going to catch the 4? I don't know. 7-2 though. It's really
Sort of
dead on the
looks across.
board.
On the board, yeah.
Yeah.
May Strong.
The 1 is a
ready.
player as well, and you're getting
Away they
7-2
race.
on that one.
A perfect start.
Look
And
at the
May
class.
Strong narrowly
the
in front,
class on
taking
the
over
3
Miss
there.
Bodacious soon after from Ecstasy and Uphill Dance coming up on the inside. The trailer early is Hoshiana, and Miss Bodacious has a length to spare. Uphill Dance is about a length and a half away now in second. And moving forward is Ecstasy on the outside to shade her. A length and a half, May Strong, and picking up on the inside, Hoshiana is starting to get some real zip going, is coming up on the inside of both Ecstasy and Uphill Dance. Didn't quite go through on the inside of either of them. However, Miss Bodacious has not been challenged. Miss Bodacious leads by a length and a half. Uphill Dance, Ecstasy, the widest, going to second clearly again. And moving into it is May Strong as Hoshiana's on the inside. And Miss Bodacious, a very relaxed lead by a length to Ecstasy.
right
The
back,
neck
guys.
out, third Uphill Dance.
All right.
May Strong, the outside from Hoshiana. Miss Bodacious in front. Uphill Dance coming into second spot and comes away from the inside with a menacing move now for Pietro Morin. Uphill Dance ranges up to Miss Bodacious. They've got away from Ecstasy. Hoshiana's finishing up the inside. Uphill Dance has gone to the front. Uphill Dance coming away. And
The
now
one.
Hoshiana trying to make a race of it from a fairway back, but not going to. And it's
It's a
all
blowout.
Uphill Dance. Another one
9 to
for the barn
5
of Rachel
pick.
Holden. And in style, Uphill Dance, 3 lengths.
All right, we have race 3 at Del Mar coming up in 5 minutes here.
Okay.
And we have a situation here where you're getting 3-1 on the Scotty top pick, who seems to have a distinctive pace advantage. For Bob Baffert, how often do you get a Baffert horse on the turf that, well, I guess because it's on the turf is why you're getting that advantage. But
Correct. And if we have a minute, I just want to point something out. Colonial Downs did complete their card. And it looks like I'm doing pretty good with crazy, sneaky long shot horses like Evershed, and I did mention As Catch Can as
Yes,
a
you
live
did.
horse, and Cash Can won the race and paid $34.20 with the favorite Evershed. So yes, the weather delay kind of cost me there, but that's a horse that I thought was live in that spot.
All right, we got.
And let me just point out one other thing, Oldy, and just another metric you look for on EquinEdge. As Catch Can was morning line 10-1, but an EquinEdge morning line of 9-2, went off at 16-1 and won the race and paid $34. So when you see that 10-1 morning line and an EE morning line that's lower, and then you're getting more than what the original track morning line was, to me, that's a shot even for an entertainment play, and you got a $34 horse there.
What race number was that?
That was race 9 at Colonial.
All right, so that was Catch Can, who
Yes, yeah, with Jonathan Thomas, yeah, who was always live at Colonial.
and here's what David's talking about with the 10-1 morning line, the 9-2 E morning line. They paid $34.20 for $2. All right, so Del Mar race 3, gentlemen.
Del Mar race 3
looks by the betting and by the race sim like it's a wide open race.
It does. Initially when I first saw this race, the 2 horse, if you look at the horse to watch, it's the Top Pace, Top Win, Top SOR, EE Top Pick. Those horses win 35% of the time, and they're in the money 70% of the time. And after takeout, it's a 0% ROI, which is amazing. That being said, I don't know what the 7 is going to do, but the 2 is most likely sending from the inside. And, this horse has breeding for dirt and for turf. So I wasn't sure. I was kind of leaning towards the second-time starter who should improve on the turf. I think, stark contrast. So I'm going to go with McCarthy and Kimura on stark contrast, the 11 horse at 5-1. I'll take that. I think there's going to be some speed, and I think the 11 is going to be sitting in the 3rd or 4th spot. And
Scotty, we are on the same page here. I like the 11. I like Caravaggio's first-time turf. They're running well on the turf. And first, my angle, we've discussed it on the road to NHC, first-time turf and in the spotty field. But this is a little different. These are 2-year-olds, so you don't have other horses that have form that are spotty. But, yeah, I like that. The only question I have is about is the 11 post. Prefer it more inside post, but at that price, 4-1, I think is.
I think he's fast enough to get over David. And
Okay.
The dam, by the way, was all turf. Like she was a turf horse. Catch the eye.
Catch the eye. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a good point. And working well. We've got a couple of nice workouts at Del Mar, August 16th and August 23rd. So
here's the other thing. What's interesting, when you run the race simulator, every horse except for the 9 horse is within a length and 3/4 of the finish. It's insane.
Mhm.
Like even a horse like the 4 horse is 21-1. This one is only 1% to win, 35-1 EE morning line. But this horse is literally on the wire and the only one with a blue closing arrow, except for the 9 who's well back.
Right.
So I think anything can happen in this race. But we all know how good the EquinEdge long shot first-time starters do. That's Il Diamato and Rispoli on the 6 horse Honey's Choice. And you're getting 7-2 right now. If I only had to bet 1 horse in the race, it would be between the 6 and the 11. I guess that's 2, which is also, by the way, confirmed by the EquinEdge, top 2 picks. So, or long shot and second pick. So I think at the end of the day, this race looks tough on paper, but I think one of those horses is going to win.
Well, the next race appears to be a 2-horse race, so maybe you double to the 9 and the 7 in the next, if it makes sense from a probable standpoint.
I think it does, because if you look at the betting, you've got the 13, the 2, the 7, the 6, the 11. All of those are getting bet. So 4-1, 7-2, all the way up to 6-1. When the favorite in the race is 7-2, you know 3-1 now. The 11, you know it's wide open.
And you're getting 22-1 on the 11-7 and 9-1 on the 11-9.
So I'll let you guys know what's going on. The race is about to take off.
I have the sound up too, Scotty.
You got
if
the
you
sound
want.
up? Okay.
And Patrick has a good point, I think, about the 13, Medici. Into mischief, first time turf. And don't love the post blinkers on. May gun for the lead or the 11. We'll see how that goes. 6-1 is taking some money.
Waiting for still bulletproof.
For Mandela.
It'll be interesting. Here, first of all, if the 7 doesn't go, St. Petersburg with Hernandez could go gate to wire.
We're all in line.
We just don't know how this is going to play out.
Right.
Well, they all went. And
Well, and 2 really struggled. He's having to be asked. And the
47
13
is
just
on
cruises
pass.
up there
Medici
without
on the
even being
far
asked.
outside.
And
Once the front
even
though,
from
and
that
Medici will
outside
take
there,
charge
gets an
early.
easy lead.
St. Petersburg now moves up into second. Still bulletproof
13's
takes
on the
third.
lead right now.
47 broke well
The
and
8's
Speck
having to
running
go
its
about
fourth.
4
Then
wide
why not
right now
another
on
one?
the 7
Who's
horse.
smithing down on the inside, moving into
So
the turn.
the
Stark
2 horse is
Contrast
really
is
struggling,
next.
being
Then
strangled
comes
right now
Honey's
by
Choice.
Hernandez, the
Think of another
Baffert,
3.5 back to Keepman.
Baffert
it
horse.
was ranked too, I would say.
I tell you what, the 11 horse is moving very nice. They
Opening
went
quarter for
22
Medici,
and 4 for the first quarter,
who leads them onto the backstretch. 47,
which
a length
seems
and a half
fast to
back,
me,
running
but
in
the
second.
13
St.
seems to be
Petersburg
well
is
within
third at the
Handicap,
rail,
back
still
to 13 to
bulletproof.
7-1.
Is fourth up the backstretch with 4
First
lengths
time
to make
started,
up.
the 6 horse
Why
is
not
4-1.
another
The
one is
EquinEdge long
next?
shot
And
is
then comes
cruising
Stark
about
Contrast,
7-8
followed
lengths
by
back
Honey's Choice, who's
as they went
8 lengths behind
47
at the
for the
stage,
half.
clear of Here's Some More. Keepman is next. The trailer still Cornelius the Great, 47.44 for the half mile. 11 lengths from first to last as Medici
The 11's coming,
tries to
making a
take him all the
move.
way
So
into
is
the far
6, the
turn.
first time starter.
Medici by a length, 47.
Seems to be have some
Second, and edging up
talent.
now on the outside the pace setter. St. Petersburg is third on the inside. Still bulletproof is next.
But the
Moving
11
3 wide is Stark
11 is
Contrast.
going to be
13 might
menacing
be
here
gone.
and
This is one
goes around the turn, but the
right
13
quarters
is
there as they turn for home.
here comes
It's
the 11 is not changing leads, but he's in second right now. But it's going to be very, very close. He needs to straighten out, and he's going to get there.
Stark
You got it.
Contrast is next.
Yep. And that 6 ran huge too. 11, 13, 6, you guys.
Stark Contrast coming up.
Very nice call there, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good
Late
call,
money
Patrick.
all up there too.
We spotted that 13 horse into mischief and also Stark Contrast, right? To first time turf.
Look at us collaborating, David.
What's that?
Look at us collaborating.
Yes, absolutely.
How many times have we picked the same horses at one? Not very often.
Right?
That's nice.
That is true. We'll give you a boom there, and we'll give you a little. I'm having fun with the new toys here.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
All right, so let's. I believe David, you have this race at Kentucky Downs coming up here in about 11 minutes, and then it's about time for me to make sure that you get out of here on time as part of our little deal here.
Yes. In full disclosure, my grandson has a football game at 6 p.m. and it's 5-10 minutes away, so I don't want to miss it. Supposedly, there's a rumor that he's starting at QB today because he's been looking really good in practice. So I'll be bolting here at 6. Even though the big race at Kentucky Downs is 6:20, I'll just, since we brought that up, Tawny Port, I'm not on today. I've been on Tawny Port so many times. I've just given up with that horse and probably going to win today. So anybody, I don't even bear to watch when Tawny Port's in. I will tell you that at a Monmouth contest 2 years ago, I had gone all in on Tawny Port and he just missed by like a neck, or else. And this horse has just been a bugaboo of mine for a year. So Tawny Port, I'm not playing, so you probably should play him today.
Well, it is the old David Clement jinx. So,
well, that's over. Miguel Clement is he was on fire at this Saratoga meet. Yes.
But this upcoming race in 10 minutes, one of the things we talked about on the weekend preview show is how much pace is in this race.
Right. Let me just pull it up on EquinEdge. I was just. So, Scotty, while I'm looking up this race,
Yeah.
I know you don't like breadboarding and going back on tournaments, but last week in the Del Mar tourney on Saturday, I will just tell you, I'm a little surprised you didn't go all in on Mike McCarthy's horse, Formidable Man. And I'm hoping you were alive to a large double.
Yeah.
Because when I was in a restaurant, I was at a restaurant in Saratoga watching a race. I'm like, oh, Formidable Man, this horse can't lose this race. And then I looked and I'm like, he won for fun, closing, very impressive. What did you have Formidable Man in that race?
I had him for second.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I was almost out immediately. I for whatever reason, it was just one of those tournaments for me. But you'd live to see another day, and
yeah,
I'm looking forward to the Breeders' Cup. You know, I have 2 entries into the Breeders' Cup already, so I'm pretty happy about that. I've not really been playing too many NHC events. I've just been really busy in California, although I'm in Florida right now. But yeah, you know, Formidable Man, that's a horse I bet. So yeah.
And I was all over him on one of the shows at Gulfstream. They had that Gulfstream Santa Anita combination tournament. I went all in on Formidable Man. He won, and he paid like $13 that day. So he's become like my favorite horse, and he's won like 2 in a row. And I was like, geez, if I knew, I would have said I should have entered that contest, and I would have had a double because that horse that just refuses to lose and move up in class in the next race after that, it was a good score, and it paid like $12. All right, let's go to.
Hey, by the way, real quickly, guys, Anthony got into the NHC. So stoked for you, Anthony! Like,
oh, great.
You got to make sure you come and join us. There's a seat available if you want to come join us. So we'd love to have you. You know, we have got the road to the NHC. We haven't. We did we do it? We did one last week, didn't we, David? I think we did last week.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah. But we're going to be there. And David, you've got 1 or 2 entries into the NHC right now. 1 or 2?
I've got 1. You've got 2.
Yeah.
2. Yeah, you're looking great. 2 in the NHC, 2 in the BCBC. Yeah. I haven't been chasing that second seat per se. I'm being very picky, so I'm looking for when we start up that road to NHC, I'll be more active on those Friday. Just didn't like the card selection this Friday, so
no, I didn't either. But I was stoked for you, Anthony. I think it's your first time. You're gonna have the best time of your life. I tell you what, all of us that go to Vegas in March, it's the best thing we do. Absolutely.
Yeah, looking forward to it every year. Table 11, there'll be a seat for you at table 11.
Yeah,
this year we might need table 11 and 12. We'll see how it goes.
Right below the air conditioning, just the way David likes it.
Oh no! I got to bundle up this year. I was always freezing my ass off. You know,
and the other piece of advice I would give is to bring your own internet.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a little bit of an issue.
Yeah. Even if it means going out and for a month paying for a 5G hotspot to bring there, that the internet's that bad that in that room that it's necessary. So that would be the one piece of oldie off the wall advice for you. But congratulations, that's definitely a boom.
Yes.
Great
guys,
job.
What do you guys make of, like, why the 8 horse is 9-5 right now, spiced up, but like, this is not a foreign horse, and I really have no idea why the win percentage algorithm or the EquinEdge picks, by the way, they don't like the 8 at all. Is this a horse we should be trying? Well, first of all, look at the race simulator, Oldy. It has every horse within 2.5 lengths.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like, you shouldn't take any horse at 9-5, but I'm also surprised with all these horses in this race. The 7 horse is 6-5. It's also the top EquinEdge pick. I mean, but it looks like the system always likes this horse. Look, it's 45%, 60, 55, 43. Like, you know, but it wins, has 5 wins in 10 races. But right
Scotty,
now, 9-2, you guys.
7 as a money burner lately. Started off his career running well as a 2-year-old, and as a 3-year-old has become a money burner. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 starts in a row as a prohibitive favorite and down the tubes. Spiced Up beat him last time out in the Mahoney, and Spiced Up is live, but way over bet. And Dream On is an overlay right now, and a horse I would use, and a horse I really have interest in is the 5 Antisocial. Not because I'm antisocial. I love the cutback. I love the cutback out of the Secretariat. This horse showed pressed the pace and tired late, and now cuts back and should be closing off the pace. I think the 5 has a big shot here, so I'm on the 4 and the 5, and I think I don't want any part of Governor Sam.
And David, the 4 was my top pick on the weekend preview show. Dream On, I love the cutback here for
Right.
this horse in this particular race with this kind of pace setup. Mia Baggio. Let's just forget about the 1 and the 3 for a second. Mia Baggio only has one way to go, and the 9 and the 7 are lined up right by each other too. I smell the pace duel. This is exactly the kind of pace setup, Scotty, where you used to have to put this in a spreadsheet that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Right. And also let me point out too that Antisocial came out of the same race as Dream On, and Antisocial finished 3rd and Dream On finished 5th. Right now, the disparity in price doesn't make sense. Dream On is 10-1, 11-1.
Yeah.
And you're getting 14-1 on Antisocial. So great director. If you're still on, that's value, and that's how I look for a play. I think Antisocial or Dream On are proper value because the 8 Spiced Up, who I will use on top with Exactas on those other 2 horses, is overbet at 9-5. Shouldn't be 9-5. So that's where you have an underlay, you'll have an overlay or 2 or 3. So and I think right now I'd be focusing on at that price on the 5. It's very juicy to me.
Well, Irad chose the what did he get off at? He got off of the 1, 9, and 16. And the 9 horse, the EquinEdge long shot is interesting, but it needs the lead. And let's see, is it going to get the lead? The 7 is super fast, Governor Sam. But I don't know that Irad really wants to duel. Although he gets off the 9, does he really want to duel with the 9? Like the 9 is so fast. If those 2 go flying, here's the thing: if he doesn't go, this is where the first call makes all the difference in the world. If he doesn't go, meaning Irad, then he lets the 9 just go. I think he might do that, you guys, which means the 9's going to get an easy lead. And this horse showed speed. I love horses like this that are cutting back, and it's getting bet as well. And Flavian Pratt jumps aboard, and I know Irad rode this horse the last 3 times, meaning the 9 Mibago. But if Irad decides not to go with the 9, because you know what Flavian's doing, then maybe the 9 could go gate to wire on this cutback and distance.
I wouldn't do anything past Mark Cassie, but he's 0 for 11 at this meet. But again, I just think there's too much pace, Scotty. But I see your point, from the outside post.
Justin also liked the 6 Chasing Liberty, but I think that horse kind of needs the lead for its best.
It does, and it's not going to get it. Look at the race simulator, and it's only 2%. It's 15-1 E morning line. That horse has no chance of getting anywhere near the lead, and it's a front runner. So, it's rated.
Yeah.
It's rated it a little bit, Oldy.
Got it close.
A little, but not successfully where it got home. I mean, not since I guess at Delmar it did, but it's been running at like Sam Houston and Indy. Before we go to the gate here, what do you make of the 1 Golden Afternoon?
It needs the lead for the best. It's too cheap. It's never done anything at this level. It's on the inside. It needs the lead for its best, or it needs to be really near the lead. And the 7 and 9 are too fast. I think the 1 is a throw out.
And let me just add on to 6 Chasing Liberty. Did win, actually was moved up on a DQ, closed at 6.5 over this turf course last year, September 1st, and had closed up for a second with Florent Giroux, and was moved up by DQ, so can close also. But right now at 16-1 on the 5 antisocial, I'm foaming at the mouth, to be honest with you, and also at the 4 at Dream On at 10-1 is very enticing. I just think the 8 is obviously a huge contender, and I will be playing 8 over the 4 or 5 exactas for backups. And I don't
the
want
one thing I will say too, you
Golden
guys, is
Afternoon
that
to the inside stall.
this is a
followed in
completely
by
different
Governor
race than
Sam.
5.5 furlongs at Saratoga, 6.5 over at Kentucky Downs, which doesn't mean the 8 can't handle it. It might very well handle it, but this is a furlong longer at a completely different track and layout. And so for me, like, I think the 8 at 8-5 is just getting over bet.
Correct.
And the fact that it went down in win percentage, I mean, it was 10% to win last time, and now it's 4% after the win. Like, and listen, the win percentage should completely have it wrong. I mean, it happens. It's not a perfect algorithm, but like, I'd have to pass on the 8. I think the 7 and Irad Ortiz are going to find a way to get this win. That's what I think.
All right, I'm on the 4, and
Yeah, good luck, everybody.
And
Just in behind these horses as they come through the opening stages is Me Bargo in the hot pink colours, and Out on Bail is firing across from one of the outside stalls. Me Bargo leads from Out on Bail. Then Golden Afternoon and Warheart with a couple of lengths to Troubleshooting on the inside of Governor Sam. Innovators out 3 wide, 8 off the lead, followed by a 3 wide Chasing Liberty. And between horses next is Spiced Up. Antisocial follows the rail. Dream On back at the tail with Bridle a Butterfly. 3/8 of a mile left to go. Me Bargo showing the way from Out on Bail. Out on Bail moving up alongside Me Bargo when they reach the top of the stretch. Golden Afternoon is in behind them, 2 lengths away third, followed by Warheart in the red cap. Golden Afternoon now peeling across the heels of the leader. Troubleshooting is deeper out, coming home well, and so too from well back is Chasing Liberty. Me Bargo and Out on Bail being swamped. There's a split for Governor Sam near the inside. Troubleshooting comes. Golden Afternoon comes. Troubleshooting. Golden Afternoon. Troubleshooting beats Golden Afternoon by a neck. Governor Sam prominent in a...
Troubleshooting. Whoa.
Yep.
Tyler.
On a board.
And what odds do we get there?
9-1.
Yeah. 9-1, yeah. Durante on the. Oh no!
Yeah,
sorry, Foley.
Me Biagio got burnt out in the speed duel, and Governor Sam had a good race, but again, didn't moved up the inside there and just didn't get the job done.
Who was on the inside? Was that the 1?
No, the 1 was the 1 finished second.
Yeah,
just missed on the outside.
Yeah, the 1 ran huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shows
if you look,
16-1. Yeah, 9-1 over 16-1. That's Kentucky Downs for you.
But that also, but the race simulator said that's what was going to happen. I mean, it's going to be a blanket.
Yeah.
And the race simulator also had a double blue arrow on the 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. Look at that. Like, I thought that horse was a throwout, but I was wrong. But the race simulator, yeah, it often happens when you see that. What do you do in that case, you guys? I mean, it stinks when you cover an all or you use most horses and then the favorite wins. I think that's what you always fear. But that being said, when you see the race simulator like this, do you take the risk and you try to get a price? Like, I'd look at that 2 horse actually went off at 5-1. It got bet late.
Yeah, well, and also the 1 Golden Afternoon, you also, and maybe we didn't spend enough time on it, but it also had Jose aboard.
Yeah.
There, and I read World last time, so there's a belief that this horse is pretty good to be getting Jose and Irad. There, you had the blue arrow, the double blue arrow, on a horse that we all thought probably needed the lead. So that was maybe a couple things sticking out there that we could have seen, but it was still hard to get to.
But I think you could have you could really have made a case for almost all of them. You know,
Exactly.
So,
Yes.
This race was just so wide open. And that's my point.
yeah.
You can't in a race like this, even though I did use the 8, I didn't have confidence. And that's why I just played small Exactas, the 8 over the other 2 horses I liked, and win bets on Antisocial. And he took money late, went down. There's a tremendous amount of late money. Antisocial went down from 14-1 to 7-1 in like 3 flashes. And
and let it be a lesson to you guys. Like probably 8 out of 10 times, if not more, you're going to beat a horse like the 8 horse.
Yeah.
Look at the race simulator, and it's got a wall of horses right there.
Yeah.
You see the 8's only 4-1 on the eMorning line. It's not like it's 7-5 or 8-5. It's only 4%. It's not within the EquinEdge picks. I'm just saying, like, there's no doubt on paper this horse looks like the horse to beat. I agree, and that's why it got bet. But this is why the metrics are so important.
Exactly.
For sure.
Right.
We got Gulfstream, right? Coming up, race number 10.
We got Gulfstream coming up, race number 10. It's the
Fager
Florida.
State.
Yep, exactly. And, I think this was not the strongest field for this race we've seen over the years we've been doing these shows. But, I think David liked Trelawney. I like Trelawney.
Throw out I didn't like the slop in that last effort. So that's the horse I would play here at 3-1. It was also the second choice with also the 5 all to win and the 1 Camegold. But gentlemen, I'm going to let you finish up this Gulfstream race. I want to get to my grandson's football game. He may be starting QB today. So here we go. Let's go, Connor O'Reilly.
Enjoy,
and the
David.
Titans.
All right,
And
David.
good to be with you. Thanks, Oldy, for inviting me on in Justin's place. Scotty, thanks for joining. We had a great time. And hopefully we'll get to do the show on Friday. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. And may the horses be with you this weekend, gentlemen. And have a good one.
Bye, David.
See you again. Take care.
Thanks,
David, good luck to your grandson tonight. Scotty, your 15 minutes turned into
I know.
however long we've been at this, but your internet's been working amazing.
Yeah. Well, you needed me because David had to go anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna run till the end of the to the last Kentucky Downs graded stakes, which is that grade 2 that's coming up. But so we have the Dr. Fager stakes here. The Trelawney, and this is what David and I were talking about. And I talked about this on the weekend preview. Look at the GSR drop on the wet there for that horse. At 6 furlongs now gets back to dry.
Yeah.
Here, I mean, 68 is still good, but it's a significant drop off that 75 to me. Horse is also bred, trained, and owned by the Pinchon family.
I'm looking real quickly at the trip that the horse got, and it looks like it was a realistic trip.
It was right there in the stretch. It was only a length and a half away.
Yeah, it just wasn't good enough. It was right there. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and it just doesn't look like there was really any excuses. So, it was all out. It could have just been that the horse didn't like the mud. It should get a very good trip from here. Now, we've talked about this before. On the straightaway, on the one-turn, on the one-turn dirt races at Gulfstream Park, the post 7 and outward win, I want to say it's like 2 or 3% of the time. It's very, very, very low. And so I always try to, unless the horse has like runaway speed, I try to beat those types of horses. I really want to like the 5 horse, but I'm trying to figure out the trip that the 5 is going to get. I know it can rate. I don't know what Jaramillo is going to do, but I got to figure he's going to find a way to run good. The reason I like this horse is it's got the top GSR, it's got the top win percentage, it's 8-5 EE morning line, and it's the top EquinEdge pick. I just got to play that horse and figure that Jaramillo is going to find a way to get that horse to win.
I I will point out Trelawney's actually in the 6th hole here because of the scratch, luckily.
Oh, that's true. That's right. That's true.
But
True.
I think the one's getting back probably too hard here for a horse with Antonio Sano training and who kind of showed nothing after breaking the maiden and was never involved at Saratoga. So, the other one I think that maybe didn't like the slop and now has a big GSR going up is the 2, who might be an interesting long shot there, but needs to get out of the gate.
Yeah, I mean Squire's 8-5 as well. It's been off for a little bit. It's got a bullet work in its August 30th work. Some very, very nice workouts. It's a very fast horse as well. And being Casio, they are 34% jockey trainer combination. So yeah.
And they're off in the Dr. Fager.
Off a
Trelawney was quick to begin, taken on by Squire, and up on their outside, 4th and Central. Camagol, hard sent by Zayas toward the rail. Camagol charging to challenge. I'm Tough Enough, beaten for speed while back in 5th. 2 back to all to win. Out the back is Restray. And the run to the half-mile point, 4th and Central has come away with the lead. He went the opening quarter in front by a length and a quarter from Camagol, 2nd. Squire's in the middle. On the outside, Trelawney. 2.5 more to Restray, improves outside of I'm Tough Enough, and the trailer is all to win. 22-2 for the opening quarter, less than 3/8 of a mile to run. 4th and Central by almost a length. Trelawney is 2nd, on hold. Camagold needs a little racing room. Zayas looks like he wants to try to thread the needle. Back to 4th is Squire. He's still in range, but he'll have to pick up his ball game with a 1/4 mile left to go. 4th and Central has the lead for 46 1/2 mile. Camagold has the opening toward the rail if he's good enough. Outside, it's Trelawney. These 3 1/8 of a mile from home. The leader, 4th and Central, roused forward by Meneses, trying to finish the job, but he's got more here. Central on the board at 10-1. He'll spring the upset to win the Dr. Fager. 4th and Central, wait to wire. 2nd Camagold, 3rd Trelawney, 4th is all to win. Then
the 5. Did you see that, Oldy, or no?
Yeah, I mean, really I'm not sure if there was a little bit of start trouble, maybe.
But,
yeah. I didn't really see. Here's the
Roscar on the inside.
The second half of the feature at
on the rail is Haunted Dream back
at Woodbine as well.
Chosen Wish 2nd last, and last is Venencia. Out in front as they come towards the final half-mile. Legal Catch and Roscar pushing back a little bit. A length away, Dancing in Denial. 1 away, Haunted Dream getting the stride going. 2 to Chosen Wish is starting to move up. And last of all is Venencia. Roscar coming back on the inside for the lead. Roscar back in front. Legal Catch second from Dancing in Denial as they sprint inside the 3/8.
The 2 horses actually had a lower
Dream, who's about 3.5 behind them. Chosen Wish and last Venencia. And in the sink spiel back in front. Legal Catch with Roscar. 3 wide, Dancing in Denial. Haunted Dreams come 4 wide. Chosen Wish running on really well. And Venencia goes to the rail. Back in front, Roscar. Dancing in Denial. And now Haunted Dream down the outside and Chosen Wish right through in the center. Out wide, Haunted Dream and Chosen Wish near the inside. And it's between the 2. Haunted Dream and Chosen Wish. And Haunted Dream just too good for them. Wins the zinc spiel a length.
7-5.
2nd Chosen Wish. 3rd Dancing in Denial. And 4th Venencia. Then Roscar at last. Legal Catch.
70% to win. It had the second top GSR of 73. And gets the win. Won fairly easily. The 5 ran a nice race at 7-1 though. Chosen Wish, the Irish spread. We got Del Mar coming up in 3 minutes, Oldie, race number 4.
Correct. Race number 4, maiden special weight. This 9 apparently has a pretty big reputation here, according to Mike's notes here.
Let's see here. The thing about, here's what I've seen with these types of horses. It's 37%. It's 5 to 2 EE morning line. But why isn't this horse, 4 to 5 morning line? My radar just is up immediately. Why is the 7 horse 9 to 5? I know it's Baffert and it's Hernandez. And Bluegrass Dan has a workout report on broke sharp professional from the gate, looked ready to roll. So that's a pretty good note from Dan. And then you also have a first-time starter, EquinEdge long shot by Into Mischief. and the dam really didn't do much. It was for, Chad Brown, very well bred, but it only had 3 lifetime starts, but probably was pretty good. Barrios, though, and Baltus are 10%, so 1 of 10 races. But here's the thing, the 9 horse should get a really good trip from that post, but it only faced 4 other horses last time out and getting a second place finish.
Mhm.
I find that these second time starters always get over bet, Oldy.
For sure. Especially when you have talented firsters here, people sometimes are afraid of them.
Yeah.
But, I didn't think this was that great of a field to begin with. I keep looking at, well, maybe this 2 horse, but, coming back to dirt. But I really think it's probably between the 9 and the 7. Baltus is okay with first-time starters. This horse does have this one big work, and doesn't have a full complement of works that were recorded, but it is by Into Mischief, and like you said, was highly considered enough to run second in a non-graded stakes at Aqueduct as a maiden.
Yeah. The workouts for the 5, Wild Like the West, these are very, very, very nice workouts. I'm going to guess that this 5 horse is a very good runner, that this is a horse that can run. And you're getting right now, the fact that you're getting only 6-1, that speaks volumes. But because I say that because the 9's taking a ton of action. And of course, the 7 horse is taking a lot of action as well, right? At 9-5. Sounds lucky for Baffert and Hernandez. So that horse is working out really good as well. This is a fun race to watch, actually. I thought 2 horses were interesting, both Papadroma horses. The 3 horse, Rispoli's aboard. I have a Vino Rosso. I haven't been impressed with the Vino Rossos.
Yeah, I agree.
And so if you want a long shot, maybe the 8 horse, Don't Tell Me What to Do. The other one for Papadromo with Maldonado. The race simulator has 8 horse coming in second.
Big works.
Yeah, and the 8's got really, really nice works. Like look at that work on August 2nd. 37 of 105 from the gate, 47-2. Another 47-2. The next workout, August 11th. Most likely breezing. And then look at this, 46-4, 3 of 91. I mean, I will say this, the last 3 workouts and 4 of the last 5 workouts were from the gate.
Fortunate Truth had a tangled beginning.
They are off here, Scotty.
It's Mimi's Memory from the
Can you hear this okay?
Yeah.
Alongside is Don't Tell Me What to Do, away running in second, then Rivera and Kizazi to the inside. A length and a half to Wild Like the West. Sounds Lucky is next by 3. Then Total Val and Not Happy on the inside. The trailer.
The 9 looks darn.
Can't say that in Fortunate Truth.
The 9 must have broke.
Way
I
into the
didn't
far
see it.
turn. And Mimi's Memory has the lead by 3/4 of the length. The
Well,
outside
maybe I
It's moving
think
very
so.
nicely on the rail. Seems
7-3 there,
comfortable.
opening quarter. Rivera is circling up with speed on the outside.
Now
Wild
the-
Like the West is 4th along the rail. Then comes Don't Tell Me What to Do and
9 is
Sounds
making
Lucky
a
between
menacing
horses.
move.
The others have work to do as they come to the top of the stretch. Rivera has circled the field to take the lead as they turn for home.
9 gonna
Rivera off the turn
Yeah,
in front.
it's
like
too
gonna win
good.
pretty handily.
2. Sounds Lucky trying to close the gap on the outside of Kizazi. And then from the back of the pack, Total Val and Not Happy, but it's Rivera. Rivera and Antonio Fresu
And
running
2's
away
gonna hold
from
off
that
the
lead.
7 for
Fresu's
second.
going to be for second, and it's going
9,
to be
2,
Kizazi to
7.
hold off. Sounds Lucky.
Let's see. What was the story? The 2 was 8-1 on the E-morning line. They had raced 3 prior times for Jay Neff. And Kent DeSormo was aboard. That one was a little hard to see. I will say, the horse has drawn inside the last couple of races. They were longer. It clearly looks like this horse wants dirt over turf, and I think that's what we saw here. The last couple of races were turf, and gets back to dirt, and went off at 18-1.
Yeah, and the only thing I saw there was blinkers on in the changes.
Yeah, they added blinkers. Kent Desormo was new, and then the cutback. You know what I really like to look for, and I actually learned this from Simon Bray. Simon really loved to find horses, no matter what distance they ran at, but as long as it was longer than the current distance, it doesn't matter the surface, showing speed, going longer and cutting back. And that's an angle. And then you see that the horse, if you look at what a competitive race this was, the fact that the 2-horse was only 8-1 on the EE morning line, that's a nice price, and had one of the top GSRs in the field as well.
Well,
but the favorite one, not 37% to win.
Showed a different dimension there, being able to rate. We have a little bit of a break to the Kentucky Downs race. We do have an Emerald race we could show, since they do allow us to have access to their stream.
Yeah.
So I'll pull that up and we can look here. It's first time starters.
Yeah.
A couple first time starters. We also have a 3-5 favorite right now, who just missed last time out in Pearl Blue, the Scotty top pick there, who's 63%.
Let's see.
There, but we can start the race sim. And I'll give you a chance to take a look at this. But okay. I figure we have the break. Why not say thank you for providing us access to the stream? Let's do a race there.
What's up, Willie? My man. Worldwide Horse Racing Channel. Del Mar is a good track. Is that a bot?
I'm not sure. It looks like the picture's like from a romance novel.
Right?
From like hello, Worldwide Horse Racing
Hello,
Channel.
Worldwide.
Where are you guys from?
Where are you from?
I'm
not a bot.
Not a bot.
Okay, perfect. See?
We usually get 2 or 3 a show, so there's a case. We have bot envy. India, welcome.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nice.
New Delhi.
So, Scotty, I'm going to go with the one Highfield last. I know it's 1%. I know the GSR is terrible, but it is it's Jamie Thomas, I'm sorry, who's 17% with first-time starters.
Yeah.
Here, and, a lot of these horses have already had chances to lose. This one hasn't yet. So, why not? It puts Krieger aboard, who's one of the top jockeys at Emerald. So I think that's 6-1. That's a reasonable risk to take there.
Yeah.
And try to beat the 1-2 favorite.
I mean, the 2-horse does look pretty tough, right? I mean, it's 1-2. Yeah. It's very, very fast. Let's see, is it going to have an easy lead? The 3, it's interesting that the system thinks that the 3 is going to duel with the 2. I'm kind of thinking that maybe you're getting a new jockey who could be super aggressive early on, and if the 2 even blinks bad, the 3 can go. Mm-hmm. I think the 3 needs the lead for its best. They faced each other last time out, and the distance is shorter here. So I'm going to guess that the EquinEdge long shot, who's 21%, by the way, maybe could take it to the favorite. And at 10-1, why not? So I'm going to take a chance with the EquinEdge long shot. Delayed, not denied.
Delayed, not denied. And I am on the 1 Highfield last.
Mr. Shaw. Mr. Shaw. Scotty's saying Mr. Shaw. Who's Mr. Shaw? Is that the horse? No, there's no horse named Mr. Shaw. I don't know what Scotty's talking about.
No, I don't either. Unless he knows the Worldwide Horse Racing Channel and knows who the person is behind that.
Maybe.
Which would be very impressive, Scotty, if you...
It would be. India, Mr. Shaw. I'm not sure how that's related. Maybe Worldwide Horse Racing. Maybe it's Mr. Shaw.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, too, the one thing I will say, if the 2 and 3 duel, which is a likely possibility, the horse that really looks like it's finishing, and there's only one of them, would be the 7 horse, who's 3-1 EE Morning Line, currently 7-1. It's also the EquinEdge second pick. So there could be a good reason. Look at the horse should get a better trip than it did last time. And it looks like the cutback can only help the horse. Had some trouble last time out. And Wetzel's obviously a very good trainer.
Yeah.
So did they make any changes like blinkers? Yeah, blinkers are on. So maybe it's worth at 7-1. Maybe the 7's worth a bet.
So one of the things I've learned about Emerald from Justin is it's kind of like a bull ring, but also that if you put the sound on too early, they're playing copyrighted music.
Right.
So you have to be very careful and very judicious with.
I know. I get those emails all the time. Copyright infraction. We're not going to close you down, but it is an infraction. I'm like, damn it, Oldy.
I mean, some of it is the stuff at Keeneland with where it has nothing to, where somebody's claiming copyright to some to pretty much anything that I can't remember who the horse was, but that's something we're going to have to challenge in the future because it's not copyrighted content, but they're claiming every horse racing thing during that period of time.
So there's 2 possibilities for me here, Oldy. 2 possibilities. One.
All right, well, I think the 1's going to run here.
Okay, so for me, though, the 2 breaks slow and the 3 gets an easy lead. That's one. The other one is the 2 and the 3 duel, and then the 7 just gets a clean trip from the outside, who's now, by the way, getting bet to 7-1 or 5-1. So, yeah. Come on.
Come on, get in there.
That rail's not a good place to be. We have 8 minutes before the 11th race at Kentucky Downs. Look forward to that. That's coming up here shortly. And then Gulfstream Park, 13 minutes before race number 11.
And the last at Gulfstream, and we'll call it a night after the last at Gulfstream.
7 minutes to Kentucky Downs, race number 11. So we'll go there after this race here at Emerald Downs. And come on, 3. Get an easy lead. 14-1.
Well, the 1 didn't come out of the gate, so the 1's not winning this race. Literally didn't come out of the gate.
You got the volume on this?
Yeah, hold on. Your 3 did beat the 2 out of the gate, though.
Outside, delayed, not denied, goes to the front here by a length from the favorite Pearl Blue.
16-1 on the 3.
Out 5 from the rest. Then comes Ida Lorraine racing to the inside. Free to Be is next, prompted from the outside. 2 back 2. Limo to Vegas racing next. Still 3 to Melody Sonnet and Highfield last. Around the turn they go. 21.77 opening fraction. Delayed, not denied. Has been hot on the lead out there, clear by 3. Pearl Blue backed out of that fast pace early, but now she's back on from the outside as they round the turn and run for home. Just over a furlong away. Delayed, not denied, but on the outside, Pearl Blue is coming to challenge, and Pearl Blue from the outside goes racing right on by to the front.
I was looking really good there for a little bit, but I'm not sure why the jockey on the 3 had to get 10 lengths in front. But
Pearl Blue
16-1 on the 3 is not bad. 2-3-7.
Delayed, not denied. Free to Be followed. Ida Lorraine, Limo to Vegas, then Melody Sonnet, second last, and High.
They're on the track for the last race at Kentucky Downs, Oldie.
Yes. Exciting. The Kentucky Turf Cup Invitational Stakes. We're going 12 furlongs, 1.5 miles. 1.75 miles? No, 1.5 miles. Is my math bad?
$2.5 million race, Kentucky Turf Cup Invitational. And you got horses like Utah Beach, who's the EquinEdge long shot, Fort Washington, and Grand Sonata, who's earned $2.4 million. How is that? Grand Sonata, the 6 horse for Todd Pletcher, has only had 5 lifetime wins and has earned $2.4 million.
Yeah. I mean, from a win standpoint, is the definition right there with Tawny Port in terms of being the definition of a money burner.
Yeah. Is Utah Beach maybe the horse to beat?
No, I think so. I mean, if we're really talking about the one to beat, it's probably Fort Washington. But, I went elsewhere just because of the way this track has been tending to play. I went to the 10. I went 10, 11, 5 on the preview show here. The 10 Corruption for Mark Cassie.
So, LA, you like the 3 horse Tawny Port. Are you alive in a horizontal? Or are you just going to bet this vertically?
Larry, no. LA, no. Not Tawny Port.
Why? What's wrong with Tawny Port?
Tawny Port hasn't won a race since 2023.
That's ugly.
It has not been a group over 68 SOR on the turf ever.
Why are you so negative? Why are you giving LA such a tough time? Are you trying to say that he doesn't know how to handicap?
No, LA is an amazing handicapper, actually.
Come on, you got to give him a tougher time than that.
But Tawny Port, you have a better chance that Tawny Port stubs his toe coming out of the gate and just stops than you do of Tawny Port winning this race.
Jeez, you're just mean. Okay, how about Fort Washington, who's 9-1 in the E morning line, but is your 3-1 favorite right now? That horse won the Arlington Million at Colonial Downs August 9th, and against 6 other horses. Small field, though, was only 13% to win that day. In fact, this horse, the win percentage algorithm never likes this horse.
No, and the distance is also a question here. There's a 14-point drop in GSR there.
Yeah.
Going from 10 to 12, going from a mile and a quarter, a mile and a half. I didn't love Utah Beach. Justin did here for Nacho Correas. But I thought either Mercante or Corruption, who both have a little bit of speed, are going to be tactically placed here on this course where you almost have to be when they start going uphill towards the end. If you're not tactically placed there, you're in for a rough go of it. And I think one of those 2 horses are still going to be in that position.
Tawny Port is the EquinEdge second pick at 19-1. I mean, this is an absolute grab bag. Did you run the race simulator?
Now for us?
Yeah, I mean, it's a wall of horses again. I mean, other than the 4 horse and the 8 horse and the 1 horse, and even there, every horse is within 2 lengths of the finish. Like, no need to take a favorite in a situation like this, that's for sure. And I thought it was interesting that the EquinEdge EE morning line thought that the 7 horse should go off at 4-1. Yeah.
What do you make of the fact that the 5, the 11, and the 4 vote no, who's 30-1 on the track morning line, all have the same EE morning line? Look at vote no here.
Say that one more time, Oldy.
So the 11 Fort Washington,
Okay.
the 5 Mercante,
Okay.
and the 4 vote no, all are 9-1 on the morning line.
What does that mean?
I'm not certain that's what I'm asking too, but this horse does have a win at 12 furlongs. Didn't run a lick in the Sword Dancer, but probably shouldn't have been on the lead to begin with there. So, if they just run their race here, maybe this horse can be competitive at this level, at this distance.
Yeah. Nothing really has hit me. I don't want to just throw something out there unless something catches me last minute. I will say this. The 10-horse corruption, probably if I was forced to bet one horse, I'd probably bet Cassie and Jose Ortiz, who are a good combination. And this horse has 5 wins and 9 tries. Some of the other horses like Utah Beach, I mean, they look okay. Grand Sonata is a decent long shot. They took off Oldy, by the way.
Working down the outside, followed fifth by Vote No. And then comes a line of 4. El Razine inside Utah Beach, Anglophile. And wider out, Fort Washington is struggling to find a parking spot in the early going. A gap of 2.5 lengths. Grand Sonata second last. And Divan Propos last of all. 1 mile and 1/8 left to run. Jose Ortiz lets Corruption stride. It's Corruption into the back stretch, opening up 3 lengths on Mercante, followed by Old Crazy Bone. Tawny Port, Vote No sharing 4th position with El Razine.
Even Old Crazy Bone took some money.
Pair, and Fort Washington still out 4 deep.
Yeah,
they're followed by Anglophile. Divan Propos third last from Grand Sonata and Utah Beach to the 7/8 pole halfway up the hill.
That's pretty fast.
The leader is Corruption by 2.5 lengths from Old Crazy Bone and Mercante, Tawny Port and El Razine in the dark blue colors.
But I have heard that the timing system is messed up.
Fort Washington simply cannot get on the course. And back in the second half of the field, then in the white silks would be Anglophile from Grand Sonata, the hot pink and yellow. Divan Propos and the grey Utah Beach.
3 horses loaded.
5/8 of a mile left to run.
If he can get
and
through
Corruption
for LA,
on top by 2 lengths from Old Crazy Bone.
1 time for LA.
And back on the inside comes Mercante.
He has nowhere to go, but
it's still 3 wide. And then El Razine, 5th one off the fence. Grand Sonata beginning to circumnavigate the field as they jam up coming towards the 3/8 pole. Tawny Port is buried in the ruck together with Divan Propos at the 3/8 pole. Utah Beach is a long way back, and Anglophile is back at the tail of the field as they reach the top of the lane. Just over a 1/4 mile to go. Corruption showing the way from Old Crazy Bone. Mercante back along the inside. They're followed by Grand Sonata, still gaining ground. Fort Washington trying to stick on after a horrid trip. The widest is Utah Beach at the 8th pole, and it's Old Crazy Bone into the lead. Old Crazy Bone kicks away a couple of lengths from the early leader, Corruption. Old Crazy Bone's in front. Flavion Pratt on Old Crazy Bone takes the Turf Cup and takes it comprehensively with Tawny Port flashing into another minor placing in this race. Corruption was third and Mercante 4th.
But Old Crazy Bone for Mike Maker and Flavian Pratt claimed this horse for $100,000 2 races back on the dirt at Churchill Downs. Came back in the $300,000 Kentucky Downs Invitational over at Ellis Park and barely lost that race. What a great claim that was. You got to be kidding me. And they just won a $2.5 million race, Oldy. Holy hell.
Yep. I mean, that's an all-time claim right there.
I mean, wow. They claimed that horse from Calhoun. They have got to be just there's a lot of emotions going on here. Like the owners of that horse, Flying P Stable, they have got that has got to be one of the best claims of all time, just with that right there.
Yeah, and you think about it too. This horse really hadn't done much in those distance races, but somebody knew because this horse went off at 6-1. It was 15-1 on the morning line and 10-1 on the E morning line. So
yeah, wow, what congratulations to that group! My gosh, that's just a dream. Yeah. Like, can you imagine what a blessing that is? Wow, it's one of the best things I've ever seen in horse racing. Honestly, can you imagine? What they get? 60% of $2.5 million.
Yeah.
And they barely lost a $300,000 race over at Ellis Park on top of that. Like, Mike Maker, go Mike Maker. Holy crap.
And they might have gotten slightly more than 2.5 because it's a Kentucky bred too. So that there were some bonuses in these races if you were a Kentucky bred.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. What a win by Mike Maker.
Insane.
And what a move.
Man, oh man. Wow. Yep, that was great. They'll be talking about that for a while. So now what? Are we done, or are we? You want to cover the Gulfstream 11?
Let's cover Gulfstream 11 at the paceless race on the synthetic here. They're going to go off pretty soon, so let me just keep an eye out. We got time here, it looks like.
The one horse is 45% to win. And it looked like it had an awkward start last time out, and it lost as the big favorite. So I'm going to forgive it. It saves ground at the rail. It has tactical speed. It shouldn't be too far back early. I actually think that the one horse is going to be super, super tough to beat.
I mean, it's not a genius second idea here, but I like the 11 for Sano here, potentially instead of the 1. I think that the 1 is, had a bunch of chances. Maybe it's just the drop. The drop is big enough. The drop is kind of suspicious.
On the synthetic, two races back in a maiden special weight, open company. This horse was second.
I'm probably overthinking it, and I probably just need to agree with you on this one and go with the 1 here. And it pains me to agree with you.
Yeah, I know. And it's going to save ground, and the 10 doesn't look all that. It's only 14% to win. It really doesn't look all that. The 11, same thing. I mean, this one's burned a crap load of money too. No. Yeah,
for sure. 10's burnt some money. The one that's these Starship horses, when I use them, they lose. When I don't use them, they win. This one, the 4 Starship Paradise, lightly race, dropping out of main special weight. Maybe if it gets on the lead, it gets brave. That's the only thing I can think of here.
And the thing about the 1 horse, Giddy Up Baby, it's more likely to get second is it's got 6 second place finishes in 14 lifetime races. I just think I think we're going to be witness. This is going to be the first win this horse gets. It should get a perfect trip from the rail. I'm looking forward to seeing this race, actually.
All right, let me bring this up here. We'll watch the last here.
And, an interesting horse on the stretch out here could be the 13 horse. Of course, I don't love the post, but this horse could do better on the stretch out.
I mean, the post isn't as bad as it looks just because of how many scratches there are here.
Yeah. It looks like it has some speed. And in fact, the 13 might even lead them early. It's just when you look at the way the running style of the 13 horse, it looks like a one-paced horse. It's like first call 4 lengths back, second call 6 lengths back, 6 lengths back in the stretch, 7 lengths back in the finish. And if you look at that in every single race, it's like that. That's usually a sign of a horse that wants longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that a sign of a horse that's too slow to sprint?
Yeah, and looks like this horse has speed, so it's likely to get the lead early and do very, very well. Thank you, Ross. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody who hung out with us today. We always appreciate the fact that you're willing to spend your Saturdays with us.
Yeah, especially during football season, right? We got college football, and that's always tough. And we got the NBA starting soon.
The horses, they're out the gate. Yeah. It's now post time.
Moving in for a start. Playoffs coming up too.
And tomorrow here in South Florida, Sunday racing gets underway just after 12:50. Racing forms and programs for tomorrow's races are on sale now.
How's the Bears going to do, Oldy?
Final race favorites include the rail horse
Giddy Up Baby. They're going to be pretty good this year. I'm optimistic that they actually have coaches who aren't. How can I put this in a tactful way? That understood the coaches who actually should be coaching football. I'll put it that way. That's the nice way saying what I actually want to say.
On the outside, it's Chacharera who will complete
Brett,
the line.
bring this up next weekend. If you don't
Chacharera
mind.
and the 11th.
You can break this
They're in the
down.
gate. And runners away. One more silver dollar gets the first call, taken on inside by Starship Paradise. And here's Chacharera marching up and around both of them. Chacharera from the outside draw to the rail and to the top. Away racing fourth is Ocean Star. On her outside goes Liska Bianca. Back to the team of Awesome Campaign, who's racing together with Starlight Luna. And the early trailer is the late running favorite, Giddy Up Baby. Around the first turn they go with the advantage, Chacarera and Acasio on top of length and a quarter. Headstrong second, Starship Paradise. 3 wide, one more silver dollar third. Racing fourth is Liska Bianca, who's outside of Ocean Star, 2 in front of Starlight Luna. On her outside goes Awesome Campaign, who's a length and a half in front of Giddy Up Baby, who's last of all. They go to the half-mile point. Up front, the leader remains Chacarera, taken on again by Starship Paradise. One more silver dollar is poised off their flank in third.
We've been going for
at the inside, it's Liska Bianca from fourth, and proving to take fifth is Awesome Campaign. That's all for Ocean Star. Giddy Up Baby is sent to light here by Perez, circling horses from last and on the move. They went the half and a testing 47-2, and they round the far turn. Liska Bianca gets the head start on Giddy Up Baby, and Liska Bianca striding up to take the lead. Chacarera back to second. Giddy Up Baby. She's moving up on the outside. She'll soon be into second. From fourth, it's Awesome Campaign. Then it's back to Starlight Luna. They're on their way home. 3/4, 112 flat. Liska Bianca. She has a clean pair of heels and 1/8 of a mile to hold it. Toward the inside, Giddy Up Baby is surging to her. They come past the 8th pole. Liska Bianca trying to tend to her business. Giddy Up Baby grinding toward the rail. Liska Bianca is idling, but she's in front, and Liska Bianca will win it. Giddy Up Baby settles for a minor reward again today from Starlight Luna third, Awesome Campaign fourth, and Chacarera to
11, Liska Bianca, your actual second betting choice. The one horse got squeezed at the rail. Maybe get there. I think this is just the type of horse, Oldy, that you can't necessarily trust on the win end, no matter what. It's a weird thing, but just some horses are like that, where they get to the finish line and I don't know, they're looking around, whatever they're doing, but that's the 7th race in 14 lifetime race, 15 that this horse has got second.
And I find that more often than not with horses with really low pace numbers like that, though. Like under 10, we'll say.
Yeah, the one got squeezed by the 3, didn't run very well. Didn't do bad actually, considering. But thank you, Ellen. Thank you, Patrick. You guys, Doug, everybody. Oldie, any last thoughts at all?
Just please tell your friends about the Keeneland meet.
Thank you,
meet
Cody.
pass that I keep wanting to call it day pass that I keep having to bite my tongue on. But please bring people to try EquinEdge. We, as I've always said, we appreciate you guys. Please hit the like and the subscribe if you haven't yet on your way out. And Scotty, thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
I know the community appreciates it. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Always great having you with us. And thank you, everybody. Hope you have a good night and happy first Sunday of football tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next weekend.